about like, you know, homeless people getting executed versus like a CEO.
We'll dig into it later. The Instagram posts from nutbag people, which I was sent in the commercial break earlier, crazy. Like, he's cute, he's and people celebrating this. This is a sickness.
Shut up,
honestly.
bitch.
It's so disappointing, but I guess we shouldn't be surprised.
No, just wait for the change though.
Gentlemen, thank you so much. And up next, the other big news out of New York, Daniel Penny. A lot of people think he's a hero, and tonight he's not guilty. My take next.
What the fuck?
Immediately. In the same
they did that on purpose.
breath.
They're baiting literally you.
They're like, it's awesome.
God
it's so
damn.
awesome.
He's a hero because he killed one homeless guy.
Yeah.
But a guy who kills the fucking CEO, like, okay, let's say that guy's good, right? Let's just say they're right. How many people did that homeless guy annoy compared to how many people the fucking healthcare CEO helped kill?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, then they're either both heroes or neither one of them's a hero. Laura, you fucking dumb bitch.
Yeah. There's also the Jesse Waters clip. Does chat have the Jesse Waters clip?
And let's not pretend he's not a piece of ass. You can't take that from Luigi.
Lamau, this fat guy is amazing. Make this man your co-host right the fuck now.
Thank you, Doc Warmulin.
It's hilarious.
This fat guy.
I can't hire him, bro. Are you kidding me?
Sorry,
he's
man.
too famous.
This fucking guy can't afford me. And by the way, Doc Warmulin, if you wanna see more of me, check out the Stavi Baby 2025 calendar and the Dreamboat Tour coming to a city near you. Stavi.biz for tickets. Would it kill you to go to my website and let the people fucking see the places I'm going for a second, man? I mean, Jesus fucking Christ.
You son of a bitch, dude. Every fucking time this guy comes here.
I have a job to do. I have an actual job to do. I don't get this talk.
Is there dick in here anywhere?
No.
Okay.
It's just all the places I'm going.
Damn, San Francisco, those libtards already sold out.
They already sold out the first show. We added a second one.
Yeah.
Eugene, Oregon, Spokane, Seattle, Portland, Vancouver. You fucking see it, folks. I'm not going to read them all. We're going all the way to the West Coast, then we're going back. Denver already sold out one.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying?
Oklahoma.
I'm going. Yeah, I'm getting in touch with the heartland. Unlike you,
you're
a fucking coastal elite.
I'm a coastal elite. I fly business. I'm out of touch.
But anyway, fucking buy some tickets, folks. And there you go, buddy. That's all. I just wanted them to take a look at it.
Are we going too far down now?
No, do all the way.
There you go.
And of course, the movie. Let's start
a cult. Yeah.
Back to Luigi coverage.
But here's what Jesse Waters had to say.
And good, he's got it. Now, he's a prep school kid. He's politically connected in Maryland.
He's ready for prison?
I don't think anyone's ready, Brian. Maybe you are,
Jesse's
Brian, in a different
tough,
way.
dude.
But this
the
guy's
filler's
not ready.
Sitting in nice.
Look. He goes, maybe you're ready for prison, Brian. To Brian kill me. This is disrespectful. I don't know what he meant by that. He's like, you give a good suck job to get that commissary treatment.
Brian, you got a nice mouth on you, Brian.
Yeah. But it's not. Here, listen to this.
He's way too soft. He's going to get annihilated on the inside.
He killed a guy.
If he's not going to get the death penalty, maybe someone will do him justice behind bars.
Wow. That's you're rooting for.
He's
guys
rooting
are the justice people.
He's rooting for the fucking CEO killer to get the pedophile treatment in prison. It's like,
well, Jesse's actually jealous that he's sexy for real.
Yeah.
Jesse wishes he was sexy like Luigi.
Yeah, I don't think that people have a Jesse Waters' attitude at all. Honestly,
that's all I have to say about that.
No,
you should stop there.
Who said that?
Judge Janine.
You said to stop.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it is weird. It's like, yeah, exactly. Look, if you want to say that about a fucking child predator, I'm not going to stop you on that one. Right? But like,
yeah, it's just like
this guy deserves extra judicial murder.
Yeah, in prison. Like, as though that's one, it's also incredibly unlikely to happen. Like, it is the most unlikely thing to happen.
Well, who knows? He might get Epsteined.
I don't think that like, I don't think that anybody's going to be like, wow, this guy fucking sucks in prison.
Yeah. Well, he's so cute.
Yeah.
Maybe he gets a husband.
I think he means rape. No, I think he's talking about, cause he connects it to the death penalty. Even if he
Yeah,
doesn't get the
he
death
means
penalty,
murder.
yeah, he means murder. They're not saying they're gonna do like extrajudicial rape. He's saying they're gonna murder him in prison.
I mean, and also, what are the odds that half the fucking guys in prison have people that died because of like some healthcare shit?
Yeah,
Poor
like what the
people
fuck are you talking
are
about?
up against that shit.
Every rich people like this
Yeah,
kid
yeah,
literally was
true.
impacted by it. The idea that he is going to be harmed in prison and be treated like a fucking pedophile, like a chomo, is insane.
Yeah, they're gonna check his paperwork. They're gonna be like, "Damn, this guy's fucking cool. This guy's fucking awesome."
Yeah, it's just so stupid. I just think that like he had the audacity to hope for such a thing.
Well, that's the other thing. It's like you really want, like, it's okay. Even if you're like, this is disgusting. This guy should be in jail. It's like you want him to get fucking killed. But I guess that is true. That is what these people.
No
people
fucking
like
way.
this want.
He did not have a StockX or
No,
a Grailed account.
That's gotta be
no
fake.
shot.
That's pretty. Those are
He
pretty
favorited
nice.
the Chrome Hearts Rick Owens collabs. Those are
his
crazy.
faves. Those are cool.
Those are crazy. Raph Simmons, Nebraska sweatshirt. Raph Simmons
30,000.
Yeah, these are. I
What?
mean, these are archive pieces. Like, there's no way you can.
That fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Oh, there's no way you can do that. I can make you that right now. I can make that fucking hoodie or that sweatshirt that says.
No,
Nebraska.
I'm saying that like, there's no way you can acquire it in any other way unless you make it. I guess.
Yeah, but they just who gives a fuck? It's a
He
fucking
was he
sweater.
was Vamp Life. He did throw up the opium. You know. Las Canarias, thank you for the 10 community gift the subs, allowing me to purchase this Raph Simmons Nebraska sweater.
You're like, I don't know. I think it's good. And you fucking tomorrow you're wearing it.
Yeah, he's going to that Raph Nebraska is my listing, Haas. Send it to me for free right now.
The Nebraska is
Why
yours
do you
for
have a
30K?
fucking $30,000 Nebraska sweater and you haven't gifted subs in the chat? The fuck is going on?
Okay, that's fucking stupid. I get that. I understand that it's all perception or whatever, but that shit's not worth $30,000 fucking dollars.
Hell no, I like clothes.
That shit.
What the hell?
It's a fucking crew neck. Who
I
gives
buy a lot and
fuck?
collect. No, people buy this at retail when it's like $1,000, which is still already insanely
yeah.
overpriced, and then they sit on it to sell.
Right, like it's fucking.
Yeah,
Like it's fucking.
like the shoes I'm wearing
Pokemon
right now. I
cards.
bought these retail. Okay, these are unassuming.
Those are nice.
The shoes I have, I bought these retail. These
What do
are
they
the-
cost you?
These are they're $200 or something,
Mm-hmm.
right? Unassuming Cactus Jack Travis Scott's.
Oh, those. Okay.
Yeah. And I looked it up the other day. And the fucking shoes are now like $4,000 or something.
You should fucking sell them, dude. I know you need the money.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I understand they have value because they're whatever, whoever the fuck made them.
What
But
is
I
this?
mean, come
Not
on.
800. I mean, that's still fucking crazy. Yeah, this is vintage RAF, like a stable archive. Yeah, this is like archival pieces. Like there's a
Okay,
lot.
I don't give a fuck. It's a fucking sweater.
Yeah,
The one on the right.
I know.
Listen, the one on the right, I'll hear you out. That's something at least. That's a little piece of artistry. That's literally a fucking crew neck that says Nebraska on it. I don't fucking care.
No, I feel you. I'm just trying to explain the
I
process
understand. I
behind
understand the
it.
concept of I understand the concept of inflated value because they like the guy who made it, but it's fucking stupid. Is all I'm saying. And I
Yeah.
understand. Listen, I'm not against fashion. Whatever you fucking want, but
No, I know. I wouldn't. This is insane. Like I don't know who the fuck is you know.
like you
I
show
do
up
not-
wearing that, and people
I
will be
don't
like,
know.
oh.
I don't know who is gonna. Yeah, first of all, it says Nebraska on it,
Yeah.
which is ridiculous. But also, I don't know who the fuck would have like the $30,000 that's like not even an issue. Passenger shaming. Thank you for the 5 tier 1 gifted subs. We are 5 tier 1 gifted subs closer to buying the Nebraska hoodie. But yeah, I am fashion is fat phobic.
That is a
It
good point.
It is true. It's
That is a
100%
good
true.
point.
Except for like in the last couple of years, it's gotten less fat phobic because like all the pieces are like much larger.
Yeah, but that's just I mean, it's taken so long to just get like fat motherfucker sizes, but they're out there now.
Yeah.
But what you're talking about is just the cuts have gotten larger, but you still look fucking fat. You're supposed to be oversized.
Luigi Mangione new ball. Chrome Hearts Hassan Piker merch. Yeah. Anyway, Canadian succubus, thank you for the 5. Get the subs. Okay, let's get back to CNN coverage on this.
The intelligence of the American people. Let's bring in trial attorney Mercedes Colwin with us.
With the
Look, this is someone between what you're hearing him say right
AirPods.
there, manifesto, messages left on these bullets.
Right.
I mean, this is someone on a mission, it appears. He is the alleged killer in this case. We have to be very clear about that.
Akabidi, thank you for the 20 gifted.
Extradition hearing here, but I just wonder what you think of a moment like that as you see it, knowing the evidence that police say they have on this person.
Brianna, it's very disturbing, and those types of outbursts will certainly be evaluated by his defense team because that's just not normal. I mean, we've already had reports that he has been very strange since over the summer, that he has become reclusive. This man,
Yeah, they're trying
Luigi's cooking up the insanity defense.
No, I think Reagan's bunk.
No, he's going Uncle Junior, dude.
Reagan's bunk made in hell. No, I think what they're trying to do is like the media narrative is going to be like, oh, he wasn't coherent in his acts, so that they can like disparage the action itself to like cut away at the propaganda that comes off of this story.
Right.
They're
Only
doing
an insane person would want to kill a healthcare
They're doing
CEO.
2 different methods. One is saying he's like a socialist, when it like very clearly he's not, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not that it fucking matters to me, obviously, but like they're basically trying to present him as like an insane left winger,
Right.
in an effort to get like people to cling on to this narrative so that they will feel embarrassed to support him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what it is. But it's not really
This could
working.
be in Luigi's favor, though. I'm telling you, he does the Uncle Junior defense. He says he's fucking crazy, and he's on house arrest.
Yeah.
manifesto is these rantings and ravings of an individual that obviously has some aberrant thoughts in his mind, and that's why he put it down on paper. So all of that is certainly very disturbing. The defense is going to have to evaluate whether this is an individual that really will even understand the charges. I mean, they may, depending on how aberrant his thoughts are, he has to be able to understand the process.
Yeah, he's insane.
He doesn't understand it. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, no, he's this killer is disturbing. He's insane, guys. Please,
He
stop.
put it together. He made the plan.
Yeah, no, they're like, stop cheering him on, please. This is very scary for us. Can you please stop cheering him
scared.
on? Yeah,
I don't feel fucking scared. I haven't denied people's claims. I haven't fucking forced people to go bankrupt because their aunt got cancer.
yeah. No. Yeah, if you feel resentment towards the for-profit healthcare insurance industry,
You have to
you're
be
just as insane as this guy.
In the proceedings, even at this stage. And if there's some indication that he isn't able to do so, there might have to be some psychological evaluation, and then that will be reported back to the judge, and the judge will make the ultimate ruling as to whether or not to proceed.
Yeah, notice how early on they said it could be a hitman because it was such a professionally.
Well, they were covering their
executed
bases
hit.
because they're so bad at being fucking cops.
Yeah.
That was the NYPD being like, oh, I mean, this guy's fucking John
yeah,
Wick. It's not
yeah.
our fault.
This is the greatest assassin of all time. Yeah. Yeah, once they caught him, they're like, he sucks. He's stupid. He's mentally ill and also a leftist. He's a card carrier. He was at the DSA meeting right before he did the shooting. That's how you know he wasn't a socialist, dude. He wasn't fucking sitting around reading books and
That's
being
true.
fucking annoying.
He said it himself. I'm not doing all the research.
Yeah.
I'm just fucking cleaning my gun and letting it fucking talk for me.
He's like
I respect that.
he wasn't doing land acknowledgments.
No, dude, not at all.
Proceed with the proceeding, but this type of outburst is definitely very disturbing.
Yeah, no doubt about that. You saw officers shuffling him in as quickly as possible.
The pictures are
I'm
so
wondering,
funny.
Mercedes, as you're talking about the suspect here having a grasp of what the proceedings are going to be like, what actually happens at an extradition hearing?
There has to be an establishment by the demanding state. Demanding state is New York. The asylum state is Pennsylvania. So the demanding state, that New York has to establish to law enforcement that this is the individual that was the alleged shooter of Brian Thompson. So they'll have to go through the evidence that we've
Fucking
already
CNN
described, the
can't
manifesto, the ghost gun,
Mercedes,
the images
a
that we
mic.
saw. Even the eyewitness.
Trying her
and
best.
They may even bring in some of the eyewitness who was discovered. The arresting officer in Pennsylvania will come forward and talk about the exchange that he had with Mangione.
Sounds
It's already
bad.
been reported that arresting officer when asked Mangione, the first words out of his mouth, it's been reported, he asked Mangione, were you in New York? And certainly Mangione, at least this officer, claims that he was very nervous when asked that question. So there will be testimony, there will be evidence, but Mangione can waive it. I mean, depending on whether he waives it, it doesn't sound, to Brianna's point, doesn't sound like he may waive the hearing. And if he does waive the hearing, then he will be extradited without any further process. It doesn't sound like that's going to happen. It will have to be. It certainly sounds like there will be this
Tom
process
Dickey's not
with
letting
witnesses and
that
evidence
happen.
being set forth before the judge. And the judge will make the ultimate ruling that there is probable cause to establish that Mangione is, in fact, the alleged killer of Brian Thompson.
And we are anticipating news out of that hearing soon. Mercedes Colwyn, thank you so much for giving us your analysis. CNN's Bryn Gingras has been covering every twist and turn on this case. Bryn, what is happening at this extradition?
I already talked about this, but it is pretty hard to make a convincing case that the average watcher of the news should feel some type of way about a murder in broad daylight after broadcasting the murder, like the systematized murder of children.
For sure. No, you're right.
With so much contextualization and so much justification for the past year and a half.
No, it's absolutely true. It's like there's no
one is going to turn around and be like, oh, wow, all of this violence that we've been trained to be desensitized to all of a sudden was directed at like a singular person that also is responsible for a shit ton of fucking violence that we have experienced in our daily lives.
Like, even if he was one good person, it's not as upsetting as all the fucking kids that have died. Like that's the let alone the fact that a lot of people hate the type of person that would have this kind of job.
Yeah, should there be so much media coverage on this murder? I think it's great that there is. I think it's not a bad thing at all. Here is the Bulwark, apparently very critical of me for my coverage over this
murder. I mean,
everybody just to, like this impulse to resist it
to these types of vigilante murderer types. I don't really get it.
I think in this case,
you don't
it's
get
just
it.
because he's a 10 out of 10. I'm not sure that there's anything much more to it than
it's
that.
a healthcare CEO.
I do think he's
gonna
gonna get exalted by a swath of society who sees him as like.
I mean, yeah, you've already seen some of that.
Great slayer of corporate healthcare insurers.
Yeah, and it will depend on how much he leans into this. I just look. I just encourage everybody just to like this impulse to resist it. The idea that this is a place that people want to go. I think.
Why is it okay for these guys to kill someone with just by signing a fucking piece of paper?
This is very
but it's
dangerous.
not okay to kill them with a gun.
Yeah.
I mean,
because
I guess that is the underpin, and I get it. These guys are scared
because that's what Engels calls social murder, which is like invisible.
Yeah,
it's murder nonetheless. But because it's done at the behest of the profit motive, it is like the entire structure of American society, or just like
that's exactly
liberal
right.
capital society, is designed to say, no, that's good actually. What do you mean?
Or not even it's good, but it's like, well, the whole point of a company is to make as much money as possible, and if a bunch of people fucking die, who cares?
People should be embarrassed to like this guy. He's a murderer. Yeah, you mean the healthcare CEO, right? I agree. It's like fucking ridiculous.
I mean, there's so many. It's just like, and look, I also get it. You cannot have society would break down if we killed everybody who's exploiting someone. You'd have to kill. Yeah, you'd have to kill half the fucking.
No, I agree.
So much, and I understand why these guys in particular like. But can we get a little something? Can we just like? I literally today saw 3 GoFundMe's of people with fucking got in a car accident, had a fucking kidney issues, like 3 of them in the richest country in the fucking in the world, dude. And it's like, I agree. We shouldn't just fucking kill people. The system should not fuck everyone over to the point where we celebrate it. But it's like, we can't have a little celebration.
These are the never Trump Republicans too, which is that's what makes it even funnier. Like they voted for George W. Bush and all this shit. But that makes
so much sense, though. These are the exact guys that would be scared of some shit like that. Because they believe in like the system.
You can't have vigilante murder. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Like, people should just chill out. Even if you truly abhor private health care, like, just chill out. You don't need to applaud murder.
Yeah, just be quiet.
I want to have a good time.
Come on.
I want to look at a guy. I want to look at his abs and be like, nice.
There is definitely a air of protection that I feel from seeing so many people that I would have never expected to just like drop their tendency to be like law and order, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In this circumstance where like I'm shocked. Like I do. Like, I guess it's expected for people to carry so much resentment towards CEOs in general, and also especially towards like healthcare.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it is truly a sign that people are fucking pissed, you know?
But it's also
and also this whole notion that there's been one other political thing.
Because even a little bit of the Trump, like this is coming at a time where there's so much of Trump's base is like, we're outsiders, we're shaking shit up. There's people that are probably huge Trump fans that are happy this is happening.
Yes, no, there are.
It's like
they're in the comment section of every Ben Shapiro video.
It's a perfect storm of like, you know, people on both
Let's look at the
sides.
comments. Let's look at the comments. So he's kind of the guy who shoots someone in the middle of Fifth Avenue, not losing any support. Ben Shapiro was dogpiled by his own audience on this topic. It's not just the left that are cheering. This is a class thing.
Yeah.
You guys are not reading the room quite right, and we're seriously underestimating how people are fed up with the current healthcare system.
Dude, I'm actually, because I haven't looked at this, I'm actually surprised that these comments are like
Dude, Ben Shapiro got like 41,000 dislikes on his video where he was like, the left is cheering on the murder. They're loonies.
Damn.
And people are like, the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, dude.
The people are like, I work in an Alabama steel mill. I fucking love that shit. I voted for Donald Trump. I vote for him illegally, and I fucking love that murder.
There's a lot of this going on in all his comments. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, this is the release of a pressure valve. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My first first indication that this was different was when I saw the United Healthcare Facebook account post the with sadness we announced the untimely demise of our CEO, and it got 50,000 ha-has. Bro,
he got rip bozoed.
Bro, but like not by you and I, by Deborah's,
by people who follow the United Healthcare,
by
Facebook
Deborah's,
account.
by Barbara's. Like, who the fuck? Think about who's on Facebook.
Yeah, no, you're right.
It's like your aunt. You know what I mean? Like,
That's a
it's
good point.
fucking crazy.
That is a good point. Yeah.
Someone said it got to 90,000 by the time they removed it.
That's hilarious. They had to remove it.
Like,
they had to remove it. Like they have reached insulting Taylor Swift levels of of internet backlash. That's the highest level right there.
It's just like it's crazy.
That is fucking nuts. I had no idea it was, because I always just assume, you know, we're in a bubble, but this is kind of nuts how many people, even on this kind of YouTube channel.
I wonder how much sympathy the average CEO feels about the people they condemn to death, injury, and bankruptcy with the decisions they make. Like, people are so clear.
That's fucking
people are
awesome,
so
man.
Fucking clear.
And it's true. I understand the psychology of a guy that got fucked over by the healthcare system and snapped and did one crazy thing so much more than I understand the psychology of a guy who day in, day out just lies to himself that he's not fucking over thousands of people every day. Like, how fucking bankrupt do you have to be a CEO for real?
Altoona police say they're being threatened after arresting Luigi Mangione.
That's crazy.
They're gonna have to literally free this man because there's gonna be riots in the fucking
Free
streets.
Luigi, bro.
There's gonna be riots in the fucking streets, dude.
Dude, we need a Luigi's Mansion reboot. Nintendo should fucking jump on
I'm
this.
telling you right now, like the very fact that like it sucks that because it's a state trial, it's not gonna be televised. But they're probably going to try to institute like some sort of media blackout to ensure that there's no more coverage on the fucking court case. But then again, in this day and age, you can't really do that because even if mainstream media was like, we're not going to cover it, you still have fucking hella people that are going to go there and report on it themselves.
No, for sure.
Like Megan Cuniff is going to be all over that shit regardless. You know what I mean? The one who does the Young Thug trials, the one who did from like the Law and Order YouTube account or whatever, the one who was like really.
Nah, they're gonna cover it because they're fucking because it's too big a story, dude. They're gonna cover it the way they ran every Trump speech. It's gonna be fucking awesome. It's gonna be good TV.
State trials are broadcast like YSL, federal or not. Oh, you're right. State trials are broadcasted. You're right.
We're in, dude.
It's actually the federal ones that are not covered. It doesn't matter though, because I still think that the judge can make that decision on whether or not they want to cover it, and I suspect that they would. I suspect that they would probably not want to cover it. Some states do broadcast it. You're right, like Georgia does. But that's why I was excited about the. That's why I was excited about the prospect of like watching Donald Trump in court for the RICO case before he fucking won the election. So New York trials are not broadcasted. Yeah. But I mean, it doesn't matter. There's going to be people reporting on it was my point.
Dude, there's no way they're going to stop reporting on it. This shit is so big.
Yeah. So yeah. There it is.
Dude.
I mean, this is fucking untenable, you know?
The way it would...
Yeah, so listen, Boris, we have a reporter inside the courtroom. Right now, they're not allowed to have any sort of communication. So we don't quite know just yet if that hearing has started. We're still waiting to get an update. But you can see, we know that he is inside that courthouse, at least from that sort of combative moment there, as you showed the viewers, where it took several sheriff's deputies to calm him down and get him inside of that building. As you said, this is really the first time that we are hearing from him, his own voice. We do know that he does have a defense attorney who's representing him for this extradition hearing. We know that New York asked for this extradition. A warrant for his arrest has been issued. So it's now up to the trial judge to go forward with this, for the judge rather, to go forward with this hearing. And he has the decision to either fight it or to actually move forward, where people from the NYPD will, and Marshal's office.
His family is like, oh, that's the other thing that they're doing. They're doing he claims to act on the behest of anti-capitalist sentiment, yet his family is very rich.
They have jobs.
Yeah. No. He is from a very wealthy family. They own like nursing homes and stuff too. But like, and his fucking or his cousin is like a Republican state legislator.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Is he also named Mangione?
Yeah. No, literally.
That's awesome.
But yeah, they own 2 country clubs. Like, they're super fucking rich.
Damn.
But the point is, one, even a wealthy person like that still gets fucked over by healthcare.
Yeah.
Okay. And 2, who gives a fuck what his family background is? Like, I don't understand. Why are people so stupid where they're like trying to engage in hypocrisy baiting?
Yeah, for a guy who killed a guy.
Yeah,
it's like he did kill a guy.
Yeah,
a hypocrite is not the worst thing he is.
Yeah, but also,
yeah,
like, not only are you engaging in hypocrisy baiting, but like you're also ascribing like this false notion onto this guy that he is like some card carrying socialist.
Yeah.
Like, he's not. Like, why are you trying to do this? It doesn't make sense. They're trying to fucking...
I mean, it makes it. You know why they're doing it. Because it's easy.
Yeah, I know. But it's
like,
just like, it's so funny to me in particular because like, I am the guy that like people will say like, well, buying a house is directly at odds with your values as a socialist. I'm like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter because people have already made up their minds on it.
Right.
So they're just like... they're just like, no, this guy's a real socialist. We made it up. And also, that's why he did this, because he's a real socialist. And also, as a real socialist, like, look at how stupid it is that he comes from a wealthy family, but he's a socialist. Lol. It's like, you guys are so stupid.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Of course, when you expect them to actually engage with what it means to be socialist, or they're going to use it as like the catch-all boogeyman for something they want to say is bad. Like, the only person that could conceive of killing a CEO is they want to pretend it's somebody who has like left politics, but everybody should hate CEOs.
Yeah.
That unites us. That unites everyone.
Seemingly, yeah.
Will bring him here to New York, and we're learning that could happen sometime tonight, could be even sometime tomorrow.
And Bryn, what are we learning about a potential motive?
Yeah, so Boris, there's an intelligence report that is shared among the intelligence community all across the country that came from the NYPD, received by our John Miller, and it really gives some more details about that 3-page document that authorities did find on Mangione, they say, when they made that arrest. And it talks about sort of his hatred with the healthcare industry, and it talks about how he somewhat viewed himself as, committing a symbolic takedown with this alleged act that he is accused of. In it, he basically said the mafioso has gotten too powerful and to continue the abuse of our country for immense profit.
Did he say
and he kind of paints himself, according to this report, as somewhat
discrimination.
Yeah, no. Get the Italian league on. Get the Italian league on call. I don't think he said mafioso.
I didn't see mafioso anywhere.
Yeah. It's weird.
Of a hero saying that evidently I am the first to face it with such brutal honesty. Now, of course, you've heard Governor Shapiro from Pennsylvania come out. You've seen the New York governor come out and say he is no hero. Of course, we should not be celebrating this person, but it certainly is giving a little bit more detail as to a motive possibly of why he is accused of this horrific crime. We also are learning more from friends and family, right? We have been talking to many people, some who have lived with him, some people who knew him in college and high school, who say, they were, close to him over social media or keeping in touch with him, but he sort of fell off the grid this last summer. And one person we spoke to talked about a back injury that he was dealing with, which also might be something that could be connecting the dots to the healthcare industry. But let's hear more from this person who actually lived with him in Hawaii at one point.
Before he moved in, I remember he said he had a back issue and he was hoping to get stronger in Hawaii. When he first came, he went on a surf lesson with other members, and unfortunately, just a basic surf lesson, he was in bed.
That's fucking hilarious.
Oh no! Who's a streamer under 50K followers who's had a great 2024? That's fantastic. That's funny.
Oh fuck!
207,000 likes, dude. I'm telling. It's just. Shit is
this is actually, because again, I haven't been following it that much.
Dude, I love uniting events
crazy.
like this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like in these trying times, okay, when
is true.
When
this
political
is like a positive 9/11.
When political division is at an all-time high. First of all, this account was created in 2015, but they might have changed their name recently.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think he had a Twitch account. Okay. If he did, he would be in here.
If he did, you guys wouldn't have heard of Hasan. If he did, he would have completely taken Hasan's spot.
Yeah, he would have. I don't think you can change usernames on Twitch. Yes, you can. What? I think that in these trying times, when political division is at an all-time high,
yes,
it's really messed up that. There are people who are trying to divide us.
I agree.
I don't like it.
The lamestream media is trying to divide us.
I don't like it at all. I think it's messed up, and you should be smarter, and you should know that these are the real villains here. That they are those who seek to divide you. Those are the bad guys.
I agree.
Okay.
Bed for about a week. We had to get a different bed for him that was more firm, and I know it was really traumatic and difficult.
Free Luigi, LCEO,
and do some basic
R.I.P.
things that can be
Bozo.
really, really difficult.
Wow, he's in my chat from prison. Yeah.
Yeah, again, these are all sort of the things that police are going to be using to connect the dots and try to point to a motive, try to build their case. We know that they've also, of course, scrubbed social media in their efforts in this investigation. As I said, we are now waiting for this extradition hearing to happen, and it's possible that Luigi Mangione may be on his way to New York at the soonest, maybe tonight, Boris.
Bryn Gingras, thank you so much for keeping an eye on that. Brianna?
Experts say the suspected killer of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson planned his attack well, but also made some crucial mistakes. So let's take a look at
now he made mistakes. Now that you got his ass, he made mistakes.
Okay.
Before he's fucking Liam
Classic. Yeah. No, this is the greatest killer perhaps of all time. And now he's like, he's a fucking idiot. Real. I don't see you killing any CEOs. Huh? How many CEOs have you killed? Fuck you mean? What is this?
Damn, but let's see. Now this is almost like, here's what you should do.
Yeah.
You say are his
if it were me, I would have fucking done it differently.
I would have disappeared. I would have been in Yucatan before they even knew what the fuck was going
and also
on.
the evidence left behind and what this all says about the gunman's strategy. Before the killing, the suspect cleverly avoided air travel because, of course, had he taken a plane, he would have had to show his ID, reveal his entire face under security cameras. If he had a gun at the time, it probably would have been detected during luggage screening. Instead, the suspect took a Greyhound bus to New York, a bus that originated in Atlanta, though we still have to wait and see where he may have gotten on that bus. The suspect stayed in a hospital.
Not even the most dangerous
this
person on that
couldn't even get Luigi Mangione, so we wrote Luigi Mangione. I am here from jail. I'm here watching your stream. I broke out. I made it out of prison. Wow. Thanks, Luigi Mangione.
There's so many more dangerous
in New York
people
using
on a
a
Greyhound
fake
than
New
him.
Jersey driver's license and paying cash, again avoiding a digital trail there. The suspect was careful up until this point, including
once he saw a sexy lady.
Was she sexy? Do we know what she looks like?
Apparently he was like raising her up a little bit. Like she asked. Like,
Luigi, you motherfucker.
It's always the downfall, man.
Diligently wearing a mask over his face. This was that rare image of the suspect's unmasked face captured on surveillance video when a hostile employee flirted with him and asked him to lower his face mask. And it was these images, of course, that helped spread his identity.
That marinara
By the way,
in your blood
I
took over.
I do want to say something. Much respect to like hella people that saw this and were like, that fucking looks like my homie.
Yeah.
And didn't say a single damn thing.
For sure.
Like, there are people that saw this dude because he wasn't like a shut-in.
Yeah,
he was like a popular. He was a fucking valedictorian, right? And not a single person was like, "That's the guy." Everybody shut the fuck up.
Well, who knows though? Do we know that, or were they keeping it quiet? Had they released his name?
They didn't release a. No, they didn't release a single damn thing. I mean,
so they only
part of
found
it is
him-
because he was like missing for 6 months. But I think if your roommate has like, you haven't heard from him in 6 months, and you see him on television,
you're like,
you are
"Ooh."
way more likely to be like, "What the fuck? That's him."
Maybe he was a cool guy, man.
You're way more likely to go, "That's literally him." That means that this dude was around hundreds of people growing up, and as recently as like fucking 6 months ago, nobody said a peep.
I mean, there's no way I would fucking. I mean, I probably wouldn't turn anyone in that I know in any case, unless it was like
unless they were like a
super
fucking pedophile
heinous.
or something. Yeah.
But like, there's no way what kind of fucking loser would do that? I mean, he went to Gilman though, bunch of fucking rich
but
kid
that's what I'm
pricks.
saying. Not a single motherfucker.
He must have had great vibes.
Not a
man.
single motherfucker actually gave him up until he sat next to a fucking boomer and consumed a hash brown.
Why'd you
at a
eat it? Why'd you
McDonald's.
eat it in the McDonald's, Luigi?
Yeah, he should have picked it
Go
up.
eat it outside. That is fucking nuts. Why was he inside?
Yeah, his friends.
Because I know why. Because he's innocent.
Yeah,
he had nothing to fear.
Thank you.
He's being
he didn't do
railroaded.
nothing. He didn't do nothing. That's crazy.
Across the country and even around the world. Then lastly, the suspect used a ghost gun, which is an untraceable self-assembled firearm.
None of these seem like problems.
Yeah.
Like,
This seems like
except for showing his face.
showing
that
his
one
face,
time.
yeah. Getting too horny.
But to be fair, his eyebrows are so powerful that like it literally doesn't even. What is this? Laura Loomer posted. One of Luigi Mangione's friends just posted. He's not a monster. He said they have the story all upside down.
Oh, hell yeah. Dude, people are going to bat for him.
Yeah, he's not a monster.
Even now, that's awesome.
He's not a monster. I can't put into words how worried I am for you right now. They have the story all upside down. Yeah. Okay. First of all,
maybe Luigi dicked this guy down.
Hanging with friends.
We found
We're just looking for mochi ice cream.
Yo, the goat, dude. The man. He's just he's
What
a
flavor
chill
mochi
ass
is? What
dude.
is that? Was that just
Ice cream
vanilla?
wrapped in.
Oh, mango.
Yeah.
I know what mochi is, motherfucker.
I don't know if I like mango as a flavor choice, but
Yeah, I would have gone.
strawberry.
Yeah, strawberry's good. Even a classic vanilla. But still, to each his own.
New footage shows Luigi Mangione, the man accused of killing a healthcare CEO, hanging out with friends during what looks like the COVID era. In the video, they're all wearing masks and seem excited about finding mango mochi ice cream, a chilling glimpse into his life before the shocking crime.
I didn't
What's
find that.
so chilling about this?
Yeah, that wasn't chill. That was a nice little video.
Wait, so the girl actually captioned it. Here, we found
What'd
it.
she say?
Luigi Mangione is probably the most Google keyword today. But before all this, for a while, it was also the only name whose FaceTime calls I would pick up. He was one of my absolute best, closest, most trusted friends. He was also the only person who, at 1 a.m. on a workday in this video, agreed to go to the store with drunk me to look for mochi ice cream.
Damn, dude. That is actually wild for people to go to bat for him today. Okay, Luigi.
I mean, he's killing it. Crazy how they haven't even proved it's him yet, blasted his face and information everywhere in a way you can't ever come back from, even if found innocent. I think honestly, because
they did him a favor. If
he's also not the guy, which we don't think he is,
dude, he's not.
My sister was friends with him. She's a super live normie, and even said today he was the nicest flatmate in my building. Bless you, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, the UNC, the United Healthcare CEO had a gun. We all saw it. It was self-defense. Yeah, dude, I saw that too.
I saw that, dude.
I saw that. He
was
the
video cuts off. I live in New York. I was there that day.
Yeah,
the video cuts off.
Yeah, it's like really weird. He was brandishing it and saying, "I'm gonna shoot you, Luigi Mansioni."
Luigi, I'm jealous of you. You have abs.
Yeah,
you have thick eyebrows. I could never.
Yeah,
achieve.
that's why I won't give you healthcare.
I won't give you healthcare because I'm jealous of you. And now get ready to suck my gun, you fucking dirty Italian.
Yeah.
And then Luigi acted.
He was like, "Oh, I don't want to do this."
Which
please.
It wasn't him, by the way. It was another guy.
Yeah, it was another dude. It wasn't even Luigi. He mistook.
He mistook
the CEO.
Because the guy was
thought
wearing
it was
a mask.
Luigi.
It kind of looks like him.
Yeah.
So it's all a big tragedy of errors here.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Just you know how incompetent these guys are.
It
the
was
police
self-defense
work.
plus
police
it wasn't
work.
him.
Yeah. I think we did it.
I think
we should be his defense.
Someone put
team.
us on the line with Thomas. What was his name?
Thomas Dickinson
Thomas
or
Dickey,
something.
Yeah, Tom
Dickey.
Tom Tricky Dickey.
We got this. We got this. He's acquitted instantly.
It wasn't him. It was fucking Yoshi.
Yeah.
Do that. It was Toad.
The more that comes out about him, the more people are going to sympathize and relate.
I heard he killed him by actually throwing a red shell at him.
Yeah. The only thing that he could do in this situation, if he just like comes out and says something like super gross that everyone disagrees with, and they all go, "Oh, we really like you."
He could public opinion his way out of it.
But like, I don't even know what he could do that would like outshine what he has done so far.
Yeah. It would be tough.
You know,
he would honestly have to be like, you know, the coolest guy.
What?
He would have to talk about how cool Elon Musk is or something.
Bernie Sanders shared in a sit down with Politico that is likely his final term. He said, my job here is done.
Yeah.
He's passing the torch to Luigi.
Or he's going to get into fucking shooting CEOs. He's like, I see what's going on here. I've wasted my time in fucking Congress. It's time to get the blicky out. Yeah. Bernie's like, I got 4 years. We're getting universal health care one way or the other.
Yeah. That's it.
Isn't Bernie a gun guy too?
He's from Vermont. So, you have to be. Bernie is the classic pro-trans, pro-gun guy from Vermont.
Yeah, Bernie's got I think Luigi opened up a new strategy for universal health care.
That's it.
Shout out to Bernie. Give me my phone. I think I got to go, bro.
Oh, yeah.
I have to go to hang out with my friends, Andrew and Bobby Lee.
Boo! Boo! Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not fucking the hot little ginger.
Dude,
okay?
That's a problem.
Yeah.
No, I'm
those
not
guys.
attracted to either of you.
Fuck those guys. Oh, but not Bobby.
Bobby,
he
Bobby's
could get
a little
it.
old, but in a different time.
Boo. Other people also think the manifesto might be faked. I know there's a lot of conspiracies. We'll get to that as well. We'll get to like all the conspiracies going around.
But I think what's important, folks, is to do what Luigi would have wanted you to do, which is buy
go to
Stavi.biz and purchase a 2025 Stavi Baby calendar and see me on the road. The fucking Dreamboat tour.
Did you say? Oh, before you leave, a couple things we gotta hit real quick.
Okay. Like a lot of people nights out.
What's the who owns it?
Who owns it? I think it's a family business.
Yeah, but like, are they Turkish or are they?
Longer.
When I was in Cambridge, they took me to a Greek restaurant, and it was not great.
Arab?
Oh, you went to a fucking British food?
Yeah, no, it's not your fault.
You're taking me to a fucking gyro place? Bro, I'm gonna kill myself in a video game.
Dude.
Bro, no fucking, what's the name of the place?
Hasan. It's Gardenia's.
Oh my god, it probably is Greek. Oh my god. It's the worst day of my life.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude.
It
was
was
further than you told me it was going to be. I'm going to fuck you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. I'm going to be fucking 10 minutes late, but whatever.
The clothes in the laundromat, if they're not done, are you going to come pick it up later?
Yeah, I'll probably come
okay.
later.
Yeah, all right. Perfect. The other thing I wanted to show you, the last thing I wanted to show you, I want to leave this on a high note.
Okay.
Donald Trump has a new ambassador.
To where?
To the beautiful nation of Greece.
Who is it?
Her name, it's a woman, is Kimberly Guilfoyle.
Oh, wow. That's fucking awesome.
You have to do
That's
the
fucking
people.
awesome.
You have to hit that.
I gotta say what's up to Kim.
You
I'm
have
going
to
this
cuck.
summer.
You have to cuck Don Jr.
I'm gonna have to. Kim, what's up? Holler at me. Let's go. You know, I got family all across Greece. I'll show you places Don can't even dream of. It'll be
the
beautiful.
reality is they broke up. Oh, she's single as a Pringle.
Oh, we're
ready to mingle.
They broke up, and Trump's still giving her appointments.
That's crazy.
Wow, that he really does not respect his son.
Yeah, yeah. He doesn't.
Don Jr.'s so
I
tough,
mean,
man.
why would you though? It's like he's the worst of them. I think.
It's so funny how much better of a dad Biden is. He's like, you know what, son?
Yeah.
Here's a little something on the way.
I feel like Donald Trump would pardon the January 6ers before he pardoned his son.
For sure.
Like he'd be like, oh, it's the shitty one. Keep him in there.
He would be like, you have to do this for the family.
Wait, they broke up today?
Oh, my bitch secured the fucking the Greece ambassadorship, and she said kick rocks.
Because at first I thought maybe he's just trying to pack his son to like go to fucking Greece, like get the fuck away from here, go on an island destination. You know what I mean?
Nah.
But no.
They said they've been getting They haven't been getting along the past year. They get argumentative at Mar-a-Lago in front of people.
Apparently, he's moved on.
Oh,
He's
okay.
moved on to bigger and better things. Trump is considering making Kimberly Guilfoyle the ambassador to Greece after her fiance, Don Jr. Oh, it's exile.
It's exile?
It's exile. Kimberly Guilfoyle's been exiled to Greece.
Dude. Nah, dude.
There are definitely
up.
worse places to be exiled
rules.
to. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
interesting.
He has a new girlfriend. She's an IG influencer.
Hilarious. All right, I gotta fucking go.
Okay.
All right, bro.
Thank you.
Of course. Bye, folks.
I'm gonna keep the calendars, of course. You fucking kidding me? What do you think this is? All right, this motherfucker comes in, trying to do his laundry. It's craziness. It's craziness out here, folks. What a day. What a fucking day, dude. Holy shit. All right, we're going to continue on with our coverage. We are going to continue on with our coverage. I'm going to also dive into some of the conspiracies that are revolving around the assassination and make a convincing case for the innocence of a Luigi Mangione. Also, my Chuckle Sandwich episode is out as well. We will take a look at that later, too. Okay. But that's right. Luigi Mangione.
Law enforcement veterans puzzled here. Police saying when Mangione was arrested at that Pennsylvania McDonald's, local officers discovered this ghost gun when they were searching him. And then after the killing, the suspect seemingly left a trail of evidence behind: a discarded Starbucks water bottle, an energy bar wrapper, a burner phone that gave authorities DNA material, and a partial fingerprint to work with. Later, that distinctive backpack resembling the one worn by the gunman was found in Central Park. Authorities hoping DNA samples from all of these items would help identify the suspect. Testing, though, yielded no DNA or fingerprint matches in law enforcement databases. So we're going to see, though, how those pieces of evidence are going to be used by authorities now that the suspect has been arrested. And the suspect's complex path out of New York showing investigators just how much planning went into it here. Remember, immediately after the shooting, police say the suspect ran from the scene, hopped on an e-bike, rode to Central Park, ditched the bike, and hailed a taxi, then went to a bus terminal with interstate buses headed to a variety of destinations. And it was in that taxi cab where a security camera captured clear images of the suspect's eyes. One of the most baffling last aspects to this arrest is the fact that investigators discovered Mangione in possession of numerous fake IDs, including this one here, one that police believe was actually used by the suspect in New York City at that hostel. The question is, why shed so much other evidence, but keep some pieces of potential evidence, including the fake IDs?
A law enforcement analysis says the suspect in the murder of United Healthcare CEO appeared to view the targeted killing as a symbolic takedown in a direct challenge to alleged corruption and power games, as he described it. 26-year-old Luigi Mangione is now charged with second-degree murder for the death of Brian Thompson and is awaiting extradition back to New York. Police arrested Mangione Monday at a Pennsylvania McDonald's after an employee called authorities saying the masked customer resembled the suspect. Here's what a customer told CNN.
It started out almost a little bit like a joke. We thought my one friend thought he looked like the shooter. He probably heard us. That surprised me. He stayed there as long as he did. From what I was told, the worker that took his order, she said his eyes and his eyebrows, she just thought it was him. It's really, it's unbelievable. I still can't hardly believe it's for real, you know.
Mangione surrendered without incident. Police believe he was the man who stepped behind Thompson on a Manhattan sidewalk last week and shot him in the back before walking away. Former classmates of Mangione also say they are shocked.
I can tell you that this is one of the last people you'd think would do something like this. You know, he was one of the nicest kids, most friendly kids that I had known at Gilman.
I think it tracks.
And we have seen how some people on social media have glorified Brian Thompson's murder. There has been an avalanche of comments supporting it. Last week, a former Washington Post reporter said, quote, "People wonder why we want these executives dead." In just the last 24 hours, social media users have seized on the suspect's appearance. It's yet another sign of the toxicity of the public discourse in the U.S. Let's bring in CNN's chief media analyst, Brian Stelter.
Bro, they can't let anybody have anything. You know what I mean? They can't let you have anything. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh, the sign is the sign of the times is so toxic. Yeah, motherfucker. Let's examine why people are breathing a sigh of relief today. You know what I mean? Nah, that would require us to be critical of some of our corporate donors, you know? Yet another instance where I feel like corporate media is completely out of touch and out of step and out of line. No curiosity whatsoever to why this is occurring. Kaya, plays, bitch. What's happening? Plays. She's going crazy. She knows. She's like, we're breaking Luigi Mangione out of his prison, and I'm breaking out of mine. That's what she's saying. Yeah, I guess I don't have any issue editorializing here.
Brian, I mean, we have to say from the get-go, I mean, obviously, I mean, and it should go without saying that a murder like this is just unbelievably tragic, and he has a family, and it's completely uncalled for, full stop. What do you make of the reaction that we've been seeing on social media? It seems to underline this toxicity that exists in our culture.
Yes, humanity versus inhumanity. That's the dividing line here. And I think most people, including on social media, are on the side of humanity. They don't want to see a father and a businessman killed in cold blood. But that minority that is out there, it's a minority opinion that's very loud, especially on social media, is expressing a kind of inhumanity. And I think it's almost kind of like they're saying, well, healthcare companies are inhumane to us.
Bro, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't think it's a minority opinion. Like, I genuinely don't think this is, like, maybe I'm wrong, but I legitimately don't think it's a minority opinion at all. Like, I think they're desperately trying to make it seem like it is, hoping that people that get their marks from mainstream media will be like, oh, maybe this is an impermissible opinion. Maybe this isn't an appropriate thing that people feel. But I don't think this is, like, exclusively online. I try to have conversations with people that I see in the real world, and I don't think people are taking this and going, oh, wow, it's really fucked up, huh? I think this is just another instance of media gaslighting people, hoping that people don't feel that way. Minority opinion, every comment I've read on every video was nothing positive to say about the CEO of the healthcare system in general. Oh, so now we're lazy? I guess we don't deserve healthcare. Minority opinion, how out of touch can you people get? Almost every step of the way, this kind of commentary that is diametrically opposed to the way that people exist in the real world is causing people to lose more faith in mainstream publications at a time when the media is in a desperate confidence crisis, a desperate credibility crisis. Their reliance on trying to, like, their desperate attempts at trying to reshape public opinion is causing them to lose even more credibility.
So we're just trying to treat them the same way. You know, this is a very, very complicated topic, and yet people, especially on these social networking sites, are trying to distill it into black or white, or in this case, the color blood, and some are actually calling for the deaths of these executives and these leaders. What they really want, I think, is reform, but instead of calling for political reform, the kind of measures we were talking about earlier this hour, they're making it very simple, way too simplistic, and I think, Jim, this is what we see in an environment, in a culture where people will say things behind a computer screen they would never say to a person's face. This is a very vivid demonstration of that.
Yeah, and we even have companies like Amazon trying to tamp this down. They're pulling products from the site, displaying the word deny.
Oh, that'll work.
Defend, depose, the same one scrawled on the bullet casings found at the crime scene. I mean, the killing has highlighted a lot of the concerns about the state of the healthcare system in the U.S. I had a conversation with Wendell Potter, who is a whistleblower on the healthcare industry. I used to talk to him all the time in the run-up to the passage of Obamacare. And sure, there are lots of problems with the healthcare industry. We talk about them from time to time.
So Newsweek came out with a poll. Half of Americans say it's not okay to cheer for CEO's death. Number one, this is about cheering for the CEO's death. And number two, it literally they only got half. Also, this is literally not a healthcare CEO or this particular person, or whether or not people actually feel comfortable with the action that took place. Okay? This is just like an across the board poll that says, like, do you feel comfortable, or do you think it's appropriate to cheer on the death of a CEO? It's a poll. Don't worry about it, Piker. No, it's fine. It's a YouGov survey, and it did not specifically mention the United Healthcare shooting. Oh, this is so cowardly. The YouGov survey takers were asked, do you think it's generally appropriate or inappropriate for someone to feel happy when bad things happen to a public figure they dislike? Ask directly. Do you agree? Ask directly to the Americans. Do you agree with Luigi Mangione, the United CEO assassin? And even with this like ridiculous fucking poll, it's still only 51% of Americans said it's inappropriate to feel happiness in these cases. That doesn't even mean if they fucking feel happiness in these cases. It just means that they feel it's inappropriate. Yeah. Since when is a fucking United Healthcare CEO a public figure? When I said that we need a real poll on this matter, I didn't mean this. I meant an actual poll that directly asked Americans, you know? Bullshit. And even then, they didn't get the results that they were trying to hit here.
But to think that this somehow justifies what took place, it's just awful. It's just horrendous.
Right. I think that the challenge here is that there is some nuance, right? Journalists, politicians, elite types, we would be making a mistake to ignore the vitriol that's out there, to ignore these reactions, to just tisk and say that's not happening, or try to be the decency police. There is something real here. There's pent up anger and emotion and passion, and that is important to cover, and that's important to recognize so people feel seen and heard. At the same time, though, when you have folks who are posting essentially death threats or celebrating this murder, that's where there's a line that we have to try to still have in this country and in this society, right, Jim? You've got to have still a line of decency.
That's right, Brian. And I think you and I were talking about this before this segment, that, certainly if people feel passionately about our healthcare industry, and, I was talking about this again the other day, when you get these statements in the mail from your health insurer that says, well, we're covering this and we're not covering, it's infuriating. You want to pull your hair out. But at the same time, there is a way for young people out there who are going online and talking about the suspect's appearance and so on. They can do something with their time other than going on these social media sites and posting these.
Yeah, dude. Oh, this kind of finger wagging is definitely going to make people second guess themselves. This is definitely a successful strategy. Yeah. I can't finger wag my way out of an insurance claim being denied. Okay. That's it. You don't fix that problem. You can't get mad at people for understandably being frustrated. Yeah. And it's clearly not even an issue that you can vote yourself out of as well. You can't vote your way out of this issue because the Democratic Party is not representative on this issue. They're not. What the fuck do you do? All this does, in my opinion, is frustrate people, and if they feel a powerful amount of resentment, that caused them to second guess the media coverage on this. That caused them to trust the media less and less. Yeah, I wonder why CNN is taking this position, because it's their job. Their job is not to, even when they editorialize, their job is never to editorialize in the direction of the wishes of the working class. Their job is to shun the people for understandably being angry and try to make them feel bad about the very real feelings that they have right now in this moment. If you make peaceful reform impossible, you make violent retribution inevitable. That's it.
Kinds of comments. They can go organize. They can do the things that can be done to get legislation passed in this country. It might be a lot harder than posting your hot take on social media, but my goodness, that is how you get real change in this country. Not doing what Mangione did, and certainly not putting him up on a pedestal.
Yeah, it's a little bit like the cruelty Olympics online. People are competing to have the hottest take, to make the most cruel comments. And I think we live in an environment now, especially in social media environments, where sometimes there's a people will say they're just kidding. They'll post something that seems very serious, very ugly. Then they'll say, no, we're just kidding. We've seen this for many years now, especially in political debates. It is very difficult to have a debate or have a disagreement with someone who can then just say, well, I'm just joking. I'm not really calling for someone's killing. That's the environment, though, that we are in right now. It's a result of this culture that rewards and kind of viral and shocking comments. Always, though, Jim, it's important to recognize, I think the majority of people are not making these kinds of comments. It's this minority that sounds very loud on the internet, and that's why companies like Amazon are
They absolutely are. Like, people aren't going like, oh, Mangione is a fucking hero that needs to be celebrated to that degree. But I absolutely have heard from normal people who are just like, yeah, I don't give a fuck. What is this? You're so hot in both. Why did they always resurface this photo? Gays after a breakup.
Taking action because they are recognized.
Yeah, by the way, here's the other side of the story. If the opinions were so inconsequential and so marginal, no matter how crazy they are, I don't think that these guys would be covering it. There are a million different things that people say online. People go crazy online. They say the most nuttiest shit. The very fact that they're offering coverage to this for damn near half the story here, when the story is supposed to be about like the McDonald's customer describes unbelievable encounter with CEO shooting suspect. The very fact that they are spending most of this like going, oh, don't do it. Don't have these opinions. How dare you? How dare you be angry and resentful at the system? It's a clear indication. It's a clear indication that no, people actually absolutely are mad. And here is another right-wing propagandist trying to do his very best here. Mangione is R-worded, says Tim Pool. He had cursory understanding of economics and tried to kill someone based off of his R-wordation. He literally says he can't articulate the argument, just another leftist nut job. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna fucking work. Also, big words coming from a dude who dropped out of 4th grade, okay? Here's another instance where he's chirping. If these R words get what they are asking for, they'd be dead in 2 months. No food, no water, gangs would take over. Meanwhile, rural conservatives are more likely to be armed, have livestock, and general understanding of survival. Posting off of the Libs of TikTok account. Notice how little coverage they're getting on this. Notice how little positive affirmation they're getting for this shit. I said, I think they want an end to the for-profit healthcare system, man. Not whatever you're talking about. They're flailing. They're flailing because this is a moment where they have to be honest about their primary function. Right-wingers, when push comes to shove, and they recognize that the public sentiment is broadly against wealthy CEOs of horrible parasitic corporations that deal in death and destruction at the behest of the profit motive, they have to be the servile little dogs that they are. You understand? That's it. They have to shill. And they have to desperately they have to desperately go back to the factory settings and defend the CEO. I'm going to tweet that out. I forgot what I said. It was a banger statement that I made, and I literally forgot what it was. Now I can't tweet it out. What was I saying? What did I say originally? Fuck, it was a banger. Love these right-wingers go back to factory settings to defend when they see the, if you're a Tim Pool fan, questioning his independence. Anyway, Vorlo has the clip. What did I say? Sentiment is broadly against wealthy CEOs of horrible parasitic corporations. Oh, yeah, okay. When the public sentiment is broadly against defend the finger typing. Thank you, Vorlo. When the public sentiment is broadly against horrible CEOs of parasitic corporations, these right-wingers go back to factory settings to defend the status quo. Public reaction TikTok.
He just look like an everyday fine Italian.
Definitely gorge.
They're wrong. We're decaying as society when we celebrate death.
I have a boyfriend, but
they just caught him. This man is being accused of killing a CEO, but he's getting a lot of support on social media. People are calling him a hero. Why? Because they hate the healthcare system in America.
I ain't mad at him. He got to do what he got to do under United Healthcare. Every time I try to go get something done for my body or fix myself, they're like, nah, we can't help you.
I'm not going to go all the way with, yeah, he's a hero, because at the end of the day he did take a man's life, but we could weigh it out with how many lives did he take, the guy that got killed.
People are gonna get tired and revolt.
This guy used a gun. He used the briefcase.
I got the shotgun, got the briefcase.
This is probably bigger than all of us.
That man had a wife, family, and kids, and even if he was doing some things that were unscrupulous business-wise, still doesn't give you the right to take his life.
Shut up, bitch. Damn. There were a lot of fucking responses there that were awesome. Shapiro's defending healthcare CEOs again.
The only way that you...
Oh my God.
Somebody like Brian Thompson is by suggesting...
Oh my God, he won't stop. I don't think he's gonna stop. It's so funny. They keep licking the boot. Every single one of them keeps licking the goddamn boot, swallowing it whole. Oh my God. All right, let's do the Ben Shapiro one.
That he is motivated not by a desire to keep the company working and operative in a very difficult regulatory environment with a bizarre system of subsidies and administrative.
Yeah. That's the real problem is the regulations on healthcare again, by the way. Oh, the CEOs have such a tough job, dude.
Details and all the rest of that. And you can disagree with his decisions, think they're wrong, but that's the actual... Instead, what you do is you say he's evil and he's just trying to maximize profit. Once you start saying the evil profiteers are trying to harm Americans, like that's their goal. Their goal is to harm, and I'm telling you this is on both sides of the aisle. It is on the left predominantly, but there's a swath of people on the right who are also doing this routine. It's ugly. Now, I will say that there are elites who have lent credibility to this particular argument through their malfeasance.
Oh yeah, the elites that are evil are the CEOs that are making you gay, though. Okay, not the healthcare CEO. Please, good sirs and madams, eyes on the prize. Get mad at trans people quick.
I think COVID had a lot to do with this. You had people like Anthony Fauci who were giving the platonic lies to the American public, lying for their own purposes in many cases, quashing their political opposition. But the general...
This motherfucker was such a fucking COVID truther too. He wasn't like a denier at all. He's such a fucking little asshole. He's deploying COVID conspiracies to try to retain some part of the fan base. Yeah, no, man, it's not gonna work, I don't think. Yeah, Anthony Fauci was bad. Remember that guy? They're trying out all the old hits. Hey, guys, remember when the right hated Anthony Fauci? Remember when the right hated Anthony Fauci? Remember that. Let's go back to that, please.
Generalized argument that is made too much in politics, and it does boil the pot. Okay? It leads to an increasing temperature that justifies violence. Is this language that disagreements on policy are not because of a pragmatic inability to come to a conclusion, or starting from different first principles, or using logical deductions that end up with different conclusions. No, the actual reason that, for example, the healthcare system is a mess is because Brian Thompson is an evil person who is trying to kill grandma. Or the reason that the oil...
No. Brian Thompson is simply a representative of this system. That's it. He's the guy in charge. He's the guy signing off on the killing of grandma. But if it's your fucking grandma, you don't give a shit. And it turns out, unlucky for Ben, the for-profit nature of the American healthcare system has caused many people's grandmas to die in this process. So yeah, a lot of people are not going to feel, too sad.
Companies are attempting to pump more oil is not because there is high demand for carbon-based fossil fuels, because it's still the most effective form of energy production on the planet. It's because they want to destroy the earth and don't care about destroying the earth. Right? Or the reason the bank denied your loan is not because the bank...
I'm not going to lie. I think this kind of argument, it's like when someone says something that's like obviously true and then points it to blood libel. That argument backfires. When you look at like the violence that Israel dishes out on a daily basis, and then someone turns around and goes, oh, dude, addressing that or criticizing that as anti-Semitic. Yeah, you just literally made that person anti-Semitic. That person's gonna be like, okay, well, I don't like that, so I guess I'm anti-Semitic. Ben, in this situation, is unironically doing the exact opposite of what his intention is. Now, because this is such a glaringly obvious failure of the system, when he turns around and says, like, this is just like, when people say these people are evil for pumping oil, it's going to make people go, okay, I guess people are evil for pumping oil. They're not going to fucking turn around and in their minds go, oh, yeah, this is convincing. I no longer should feel upset about my grandma dying. I no longer should be upset about my lapse of coverage, according to my insurance company. You're right, Ben. No, they're fucking mad, dumbass.
Bank looked at your loan, assessed the risk, and found that it wasn't worth the price. It's because the bank manager is actually Mr. Potter and is trying to deny your bank loan because he himself is evil. Now, this sort of stuff does get politicians where they want to go very often, because the easiest form of politics is to label your political opponents motivated, not by mistake, but motivated by actual sociopathic Darth Vader style evil. People just want to do bad things to you. But this does...
Yeah, no, those are just the Anthony Fauci's of the world. Come on. It's never the for-profit healthcare CEO. Only we get to do that to whoever we've decided are your enemies. Like your trans neighbor. I'm not kidding when I say this level of broad support. It's got to be so shitty to be a conservative right now, because this level of broad support from your own fucking fan base towards an action that is obviously directly at odds with your primary function, which is defending capitalism, has got to fucking sting. You've never had this motion on transphobia. You've never had this motion on like even fucking anger and resentment towards undocumented immigrants. Even though there is a lot of anger and resentment towards undocumented immigrants, even then, this level of unification and this level of motion is unheard of.
Lead to higher levels of violence across the board. And one of the things that's sort of amazing in the right-left breakdown is, depending on who is doing the justifying, using the exact same logic, you'll see one side or the other justify it. So, for example, when Bernie Sanders, back in 2020, says that our system creates huge profits by deliberately killing people, which is not the way the healthcare system works. If that were true, life expectancy in the United States would have declined over the course...
Excuse me. Life expectancy in the United States has declined. And life expectancy, at least the increase in life expectancy, has certainly not kept up with other nations. Now, if Ben had read the manifesto of the shooter, he would know that. We're number 2 on life expectancy in comparable nations, or number 46. Obviously, there's a lot of different factors that play on that. Suicides, people dying at a super early age, your diet, lack of walkability, lack of walkable cities, lack of adequate public transit, many different factors at play. Kids being shot at fucking school. Having said that, however, lack of adequate healthcare is definitely a big part of that process. Okay? This is great.
The last 50 years, rather than radically increasing over the course of the last 50 years. The regulatory environment in the United States, as we've discussed for healthcare, is a complete mess. But Bernie says he could just cut that Gordian knot by suggesting the reason that healthcare isn't better is because we need to nationalize it, and anyone who doesn't want to nationalize it wants grandma to be murdered.
The function of our current system, however, is simply to make huge profits for the drug companies and the insurance companies who made...
Is this a pro-Bernie video? Facts don't care about your benefactors, Ben. Ben's net worth is $50 million. He has more in common with the CEOs than any of us. Stop bringing race into this. American people's eyes are opening up. Bro's gonna die on this hill when it's not a left versus right issue. Ben has to side with the wealthy. He has a net worth of over 50 million. This is not right versus left. This is rich versus poor, the elite versus common man. Oh my God. Ben, you have time. It's only been 3 hours. You can delete the video.
$100 billion in profit last year, while people die because they don't get to a doctor on time.
Again, the basic notion that Bernie Sanders is spewing there, this Marxist notion that profit is inherently some sort of grave evil. And if you just got rid of the $100 billion in profit, then magically healthcare would get better. There are non-profitable systems. They're called nationalized healthcare systems, and the outcomes are not better. Okay, so it's just not.
Yes, they are. Ben's literally just lying. Yes, they are. And these are not Marxist nations anyway. Look.
Again, the basic notion that Bernie Sanders is spewing there, this Marxist notion that profit is inherently some sort of grave evil. And if you just got rid of the $100 billion in profit, then magically healthcare would get better. There are non-profitable systems. They're called nationalized healthcare systems, and the outcomes are not better. Okay, so it's just not true. But it's a sexy argument.
It's not a sexy argument. It's just a correct argument. Saying anything that Bernie Sanders is doing is sexy is pretty funny. Oh, this is amazing.
To many people on the left. It's even a sexy argument to some people on the right. Again, there are demagogues on the right who will do the same exact routine. Well, look at these systems. You know, it's very difficult for young families to buy single-family housing. That must be because there's a coterie of elite who don't care whether you can get single-family housing, who want to exploit you, who want to harm you. And we should go after those people. This sort of demagoguery exists across the aisle. What's funny, again, is depending on the context in which it crops up, you'll see different crowds condemning it. We'll get to more of this in a moment. First, you have an opportunity to open an...
Ben, pumping it with a fucking ad. America's health expenditure in 2022 is so fucking high. Like, infinitely higher than any other country, dude. Like, look at where we're at on the map. All the way out here on our own. The closest is Switzerland, where the health expenditure per capita is 6,900. And Switzerland has the most privatized structure in all of Europe. We're off the fucking chart, dog. And our outcomes are not great. Many of the comparable OECD nations are above us. See? In the United Kingdom, one of those scary nationalized systems, the life expectancy is 81 years old, and the health expenditure per capita is $4,000.
IRA in gold with Birch Gold and receive free silver delivered to gold and gold.
Yeah, this dumbass is like hawking fucking
Daniel
silver.
Penny.
What a stupid idiot.
And talk to my friends over at Birch Gold about a completely, the exact same argument, but now applied to a different context. Yesterday, Daniel Penny was acquitted in New York, as he well should have been. Daniel Penny is a hero. Daniel Penny was protecting people on a subway from the predations of a mentally ill, deeply schizophrenic drug abuser who was threatening them physically, according to witness testimony on the subway train. This trial never should have happened. It should not have happened in the first place. He was acquitted yesterday. Okay, and I want to get into the acquittal in a moment, but what's really fascinating is the reaction to the acquittal. So, for example, on the left, you're seeing the exact same arguments that are being made about the quote-unquote racial.
How many people did this random schizophrenic black homeless person kill? I didn't realize he had numbers on the board. I didn't realize Jordan Neely was roaming the streets like a fucking mass murderer. Even if he was a mass murderer, even if he killed like 3 or 4 people in the process, it still doesn't touch the death count of any random healthcare CEO. You understand? Obviously, I'm being facetious. I know the numbers are... Kaya! Please! It's crazy. As soon as my mom walks in,
systems of the United States, as you see being made about the healthcare system of the United States. So, Hawk Newsom, famously of the Black Lives Matter movement, he says, we need vigilance.
This is why I got mad at Hawk Newsom, by the way, because he is a grifter who gets quoted specifically so that the right-wingers can do this shit. At this point, most people that still have some kind of like organized BLM thing, almost every single one of them are fucking grifters. Never heard of them? I covered it yesterday, and chatters were trying to yell at me and be like, you simply don't understand. How about you sit your white ass down and listen? These people are so fucking stupid.
Vigilantism. He's basically making the Unabomber argument here. He's making the alleged shooter argument here. The racial system of the United States, the justice system is so broken that perhaps people should be assassinated. Now you hear that, a lot of my listeners, many of the people in the comments a couple of days ago, and they will say, well, that's evil what he said. Yes, it is. Yes, it turns out it is. Here he was yesterday.
Just like everybody else.
Anyway, we covered this yesterday. This guy's a fucking grifter. There is no like national Black Lives Matter movement. Ben Shapiro is desperately trying to be like, hey guys, you should celebrate this guy who killed a random black homeless person who was having like a schizophrenic attack. And you should not celebrate a guy who is responsible for the deaths of thousands. Okay. But there's a reason why so many people are celebrating it. And there's a reason why some people are yelling at Ben. Same thing with this Tim Pool attitude. Yeah. Don't replace the culture war with class war. Bro, Please don't worry about why you pay more tax to billionaires. Worry about the war on Christmas, the trans agenda. Please, bro, stay distracted, bro. Please. And that's it. And it's also hilarious because we're here. Ben is in alignment with CNN once again.
This is a real phenomenon they have to grapple with.
Absolutely. We've seen a lot of people use cruelty to engage in clout chasing in our political dialogue. And that is what is so terribly disappointing. And you don't want it to see it infected across all sides of the political spectrum. And I, you know, certainly there's a lot to be said about fixing our healthcare industry, but this is just not the way. And
yeah, you got fucking like CNN anchor saying clout.
And elevating somebody who did something like this is certainly not the way. This man had a family. There are people suffering.
Yeah, dude, the Barbers and the Debras that are fucking liking the post about the CEO getting killed are clout chasing. All of the worst people in society are in unison, collectively trying to tell you that you should not feel elated. Luigi Mangione, an online reaction. John Fetterman says, he's the asshole that's going to die in prison. Congratulations if you want to celebrate that. Sewer is going to sewer. That's what social media is about this. Of course, he gets that platinum healthcare for his fucking massive stroke that turned him into a conservative. And I don't know why the media wants to turn that into a story. Just with these trolls saying these kinds of things anonymously like that. Is the coverage of mainstream media actually changing people's minds? No. I don't understand why people hate healthcare. After all, I got a head transplant and I got it paid for with my platinum healthcare. Doesn't everybody have platinum healthcare? Or maybe it's just congresspersons. Remember, he has 2 children that are going to grow up without their father. It's vile. And if you gun someone down that you don't happen to agree with their views or their business that they're in, hey, you know what? I'm next. They're next. It's also additionally hilarious that John Fetterman has not only signed off, but also openly celebrated the death and destruction of tens of thousands of innocent Palestinian children. So miss me with that shit, you fucking dumb ogre. Suck my entire cock. Yeah, go ruin your fucking son's birthday again.
As a result of this. Brian Stelter, thank you very much for your time. We appreciate it this morning. Thank you. Joining us now is Brianna Fox, a former FBI special agent. She is a criminology professor at the University of South Florida. Brianna, thank you very much for joining us. Does it surprise you that the suspect in this very targeted murder surrendered peacefully? What do you think about that?
Yeah, there were concerns that maybe he kept the gun on him, so there could be a shootout or even a suicide attempt at the time that he maybe expected authorities to arrive. But very luckily, he did not.
I don't know what the fuck's going on. I don't really care about this infighting. I'm in the business of uniting the country, dog. I don't give a fuck. Hey, you want to defend CEOs? You want to defend all this? You want to defend that? I don't care. You want to go on Glenn Beck's show and say maybe Dave Rubin has some right ideas? I don't care, all right? I don't give a fuck. That's all. Fuck all that noise. That's just background shit. It's class solidarity time, baby. You got Americans recognizing how dire the situation is. I'm good. Threatening to kill myself at my son's birthday party if another CEO gets shot.
Do that. I think that one of the reasons behind why he didn't is that he feels like there's more to say behind his message. I think he was leaving these breadcrumbs from us, from the Monopoly money in his bag
statement.
Left in Central Park to his manifesto that he kept on him. Things like that show that he really has a strong message he wants to share, and I don't think he thinks he's done sharing that yet.
You think he wanted to be caught?
I wouldn't say he was looking to be caught, but I would say that he probably expected it. He was sitting there casually in a McDonald's. It seems like he'd gone across the state by bus and then was potentially coming back, maybe even in New York City. I think the big thing was not necessarily whether or not he was going to get caught, but how much media attention, how much support for his messaging that he could drum up essentially in the interim while he was on the run and now since he's being held in under arrest.
Yeah, and Brianna, police say Mangione was found with a weapon, a handwritten manifesto attacking corporate.
Chatter, you're getting timed out every time you link something because you're not subscribed, which is why you should. Because subscribing allows you to avoid slowdown, follow limit. What are you doing? What? You gotta see this bitch, dude. Oh my. Okay. You're so annoying today. No, this just means the fact that she's always trying to escape containment means that she's bored and not tired enough. It means I failed. It means I have failed to wear her out sufficiently this morning. It also means that it's because my mom is here and she knows that when my mom is here, she knows she goes on a walk. So that's why she's running already. She's running around now. My mom got her out. I did. I failed as a dad today. I failed as a father. I failed my daughter. I didn't fail as badly as John Fetterman, though. So there is that. But you don't need to also compound on this failure. You can subscribe at the top of the hour, nonetheless. Just kidding. I'm not running an ad. But please subscribe. Frankie H777. Thank you for the 10 gifted subs. Anyway. Real 23 Phil, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Raleigh Law, thank you for the 5 gifted subs as well.
America, here are a couple of quotes according to a police official who...
Do you have any long-term political goals? Like, where does this road lead you? What do you think?
The document, quote, "These parasites had it coming," he wrote, "and I do apologize for any strife and trauma, but it had to be done." A law enforcement analysis says the suspect...
See, he's apologetic. Free him.
Apparently... this was essentially saying that this was a targeted killing as a symbolic takedown. What do you make of all that?
I think that's correct. It seems like every piece of evidence that we have so far points to that. But one thing I would say is considering that there is this, sort of support for the message that he has been, advocating about the healthcare industry. To me, that would say, why didn't he go through legal means? There is potentially a lot of support for this message. So why not go to politicians? Why not go to, protests? Why not do it through other means? The violent method was not necessary and never condonable. So,
damn, that's crazy. I didn't think about that. Why didn't he just do a peaceful protest or vote to get Medicare for all? I just don't understand it. Oh, that's right. Because ain't nobody offering that shit, lady. What the fuck is wrong with you? Yeah, I'm writing a sternly worded letter to my healthcare CEO so that so that they cover my grandmother's cancer bills. Oops, I guess it didn't work. Yeah, what are you implying, Hasan? I think it's pretty clear what I'm implying, which is something that I said earlier. When peaceful reform is made to be impossible, it makes violent retribution, not even violent revolution, violent retribution inevitable. You can bait me all day, but that's what it is.
I actually think the fact that there is so much, outcry about his arrest and people speaking out essentially with his message, that suggests he probably would have been successful if he had done this in a less violent way.
Yeah, there's no legal recourse.
From Semaphore. So, of course, we are talking about Taylor Lorenz. Boy, is she getting a lot of airtime for being a nut job. But it's being reported now that she and Vox are parting ways. Now, they say it has nothing to do with her screed about wanting more death and being joyful at the murder of a man who had children. But I do think this termination, it shows the world is healing. And as bad as, and we're, I'm not trying to be funny, but this is a person who thinks, she said on TMZ, the people want this. So then why do the people feel this way? When she's saying the people, she's not talking about you or me. They exclude normal individuals with moral foundations. She is referring to her communist cohort. Yep. I don't think she's literally in her mind thinking.
People don't really like Taylor Lorenz, but only because she's like a major villain in the right-wing universe. But that's it. They don't give a fuck that she got fired because they hate her. I don't think this changes the dynamic for them even a little bit. They literally just hate Taylor Lorenz. That's it. Right-wingers hate Taylor Lorenz. They also fucking hate healthcare CEOs still. The world is healing because a journalist I don't like got fired. We hate cancel culture, by the way. They're trying so hard to negatively polarize right-wingers against their Italian king. No, they can't do that. So they're just like going after other people that they hate. That's it. I hate Canadians who talk about U.S. politics. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I mean, this is expected from this dude. I'm gonna be honest. Like, everything I've seen, the vibes are fucked. I think he's a part of the center-right liberal constituency online of YouTube politics guys. It's not surprising to me that this guy had this take. I'm sick of all these dumb takes on the CEO shooting. There was just an election in which voters did not care one iota about healthcare policy. So spare me your armchair intellectual analysis of how a single psychopathic murderer represents a desperate vox populi or whatever. What the killing shows that a lot of young people on the internet have no moral compass at all and will routinely make folk heroes out of murderers because they swim in deranged populist subculture of performative edginess and psychosexual political extremist role play. TikTok brainwashed children and made heroes out of Unabomber, Osama bin Laden, and other psychos because they're dumb and ignorant. I'm sick of older people not calling out dumb, ignorant children instead of intellectualizing their stupidity. He's Canadian, I know. He's not just any Canadian. He's not even like I don't even think he's a Canadian NDP supporter or something. He's like straight up a Canadian liberal. Like center-right liberal in Canada. He's not even like a fucking like card-carrying social democrat or anything. And oh no, he's an open Tory. Oh, nice. Yeah, I think it's pretty funny that Canadian Tories, I don't know. I didn't realize he was a self-admitted Tory. I do always love the Canadian Tories because they're just like, they're literally just fucking, you know, gay American libtards, okay? Like the most egregious right-wing Canadian is just like, again, the same fucking guy that you see on MSNBC, okay? Straight up. It's hilarious. They basically tailor themselves off of like the most moderate liberal. Joshua Citrella interviewed him and he sucked. His main thing is that he doesn't agree with materialist analysis. Oh, I'm shocked that a liberal does not agree with materialist analysis. Wow! You know nothing about the Canadian right? All I know is that the leaders of the fucking Tory, the leaders of the Tories have straight up either been American or the most American adjacent motherfucker I've ever seen in my life. But you're right. I don't care about Canadian politics all that much. I don't. Sue me. I don't care, you know? Enjoy your fucking healthcare, dumbass. It's ironic because Canadians don't care about their fucking own politics as much as they care about American politics. That's why so many of you are in here. So it's very frustrating when someone LARPs as an American liberal, which happens to be a Canadian conservative, talking about American affairs and why these guys are, you know, nobody voted for healthcare. Like, it's a duopoly. The fuck? Neither party represents an actual tangible position on fixing the underlying profit-focused healthcare system. The fuck? I can't believe no options were offered and people therefore didn't vote for that option. It didn't exist. I don't know what fucking province he lives in, but I'm sure, considering how there is this universality of hogness, that whichever fucking dumbass province he's in, some conservative function has absolutely most likely either gutted their healthcare system in an effort to privatize it down the line. So maybe he can appreciate that American-style governance soon. But hey, it's fine. He'll get the YouTube Canadian monopoly money dollars in ad revenue to be able to pay for that private healthcare as he advocates for why the poor must die. Sorry.
CNN's Brian Todd is in Towson, Maryland, where he's been tracking down information on the suspect's friends and family. Brian, who have you talked to and what are they saying about him?
Right, Jake, we've been
he's a BC has decent health care.
Coming through this area north of Baltimore, the suburbs here, and talking to people who know the Mangione family.
For the record, every part of Canada has better health care than America. Like every part. Because it has some semblance of still socialized healthcare. It's getting worse, and it's going to only continue to get worse. But
worked for them, and we're getting this portrait of a family with enormous wealth, influence, and power. Right behind me is the Hayfields Country Club. This is one of at least 2 golf courses that the Mangione family owns. There are exclusive properties on this on the.
Why resort to violent retribution is the only option for change instead of focusing 24/7 on reforming the election system? Oh my God, I wish that there would be some violent retribution against me in a video game so I didn't have to read the most idiotic fucking take of all time. Dog, what do you think I do every day? That's what I do every day. I advocate for reform every day. But when people obviously feel like they are cornered with no way out, eventually, even if they don't actually take this violent action, they're not going to fucking sit there and be like, I can't believe how shocking this violent action was that took place. They're going to be like, no, I get it. Is reform impossible? And is that why violent retribution is impossible? I think you might be too stupid. I don't know what you're saying. I said, and it wasn't me who said it. It was another liberal who said it originally. Those who make peaceful reform impossible make violent retribution inevitable. JFK was the one who said it. And he said violent revolution. I'm saying violent retribution inevitable. I'm saying retribution. I know the original quote from JFK is peaceful reform impossible, violent revolution inevitable. But I'm saying it's making violent retribution inevitable. Okay?
These grounds right here, properties that we are not being allowed access to. There are security personnel keeping us out of here. So this family, again, has enormous influence in this community. They also own a chain of assisted living facilities. And I spoke with Thomas Moronic Jr. He is a former radio talk show host who hosted a show for about 20 years on a radio station, WCBM, that the Mangione family owns. He talked to us about kind of the contradiction with what this young man is alleged to have done and the fact that his family works in the healthcare business.
That's extremely ironic because this is part of their family business. And he's railing against corporate healthcare. It seems to be going against the grain within his own family, if that's true.
Now, Moronic went on to tell us that he believes the Mangione...
Dude, it's awesome. They're literally doing... They one, did he's a socialist, even though he's not. And now, two, they're like, and look at how hypocritical he is as a socialist. Yeah, I mean, okay, he's a class traitor. Great. Like, what is this argument? It's just like so transparent. It's so one note. I have to deal with it on a daily fucking basis, which is why I think it's so funny that they're doing it to this random guy who very clearly has no discernible, he has very clearly no discernible political ideology that fits in these neat confines. And very clearly was like one note on one thing only. He was like, this is fucked up and I'm going to do something about it. It's so funny. They're doing the socialist, but as a house law. Like, what is this? Trainwrecks TV? What the fuck is going on here? CNN is so desperate to present him as both a leftist and also hypocritical to some leftist stance that they are now ascribing to him.
Family was great to work with, great to work for. He said they were extremely generous, especially with their employees. And as far as the radio station that he worked at, he said it is known as being a conservative, a very conservative radio talk station. And he said when he worked for them, you know, he had himself kind of centrist views, but he said the family never tried to influence his content, never tried to kind of get him to sway over to their conservative political beliefs, just kind of a window into this family.
To be fair, owning nursing homes is pretty different than being the CEO of a medical insurance company. No, it doesn't fucking matter. He could be the richest. His dad could have been a fucking healthcare CEO. He is his own person. What are we talking about? Like, what do you mean? He's an individual, Chad. Like, people are just being like, dude, it's not irony. Family businesses are known for providing great care, more affordable rates than other comparative private entities, but they have been in danger of being taken over by corporate interests that wish to reduce care and raise rates. Extreme irony is you broadcasting the family business accusing the parents of not outing their son when in fact you know if they recognize their son. You don't know if they recognize their son. The irony is you, the major media, leave the family alone. Incorrect. His family are providers of care, not in the health insurance business. There is no irony. He probably knows very well the evils of health insurance companies. I don't think so. I mean, nursing homes are usually very fucking sus regardless. But like ultimately it doesn't matter because this person is a unique individual. Like this is his own person. He's 26 years old. Like, he's not like I don't give a fuck what his family does. His dad could have been a literal fucking healthcare CEO, and I still wouldn't give a shit. People that don't want to deal with the actions, or people that don't want to deal with the message that is coming out of my mouth, for example, would rather try to entertain the notion of some semblance of hypocrisy. Because that's a much more comfortable conversation to have for a lot of people who don't want to address the root cause of the anger and resentment. I know this from my own personal experience. So I guess while I've said that the profile of Luigi Mangione is quite similar to many members of this community, I do see his treatment to be quite similar to someone like myself.
Extremely influential, wealthy, and very powerful in this area. We were also told, Jake, that they've engaged in a lot of philanthropy in this area. Their name is on a pool at the University of Loyola, Maryland. And of course, they did send their son to the exclusive Gilman School, the all-boys school near Baltimore here.
All right, Brian Todd, thank you so much. Let's bring in Juliette Kayyem, CNN Senior National Security Analyst. Juliette, let's take a look at the photos that New York City Police released immediately after the killing. You can see, let's bring that up if we can, you can see Mangione very clearly in the pictures on the bottom there from the hostel. You can see his eyes in the pictures. I think that's from the Starbucks, and then from the very distinctive eyes and eyebrows from the cab.
Yes.
He's distinctive looking. You know, there are a lot of kids out there saying he's good looking. apparently no one.
I will admit, this and this does look a little different. Okay, this and this look a little different. This does look like this, and that looks like Luigi Mangione, but the original photos they posted, it don't look like that. It looks like a different person.
One in his rather wide network of friends or his large family.
Yeah, I wonder why nobody actually came out and fucking leaked it to the press. Perhaps they didn't do that because they didn't think he was a bad guy.
Recognized this person that they knew very, very well, who, according to his friends, had fallen off the grid somewhat in recent months. I mean, in the end, it's a random McDonald's employee who recognizes him and turns him in. What do you make of that?
Yeah, it's an interesting, if not slightly disturbing aspect to this story. I mean,
is it?
Because what we don't know is whether he was going to commit another crime. So it wasn't a matter of, are you turning in your friend? It is whether you can help in stopping another crime. He was still in possession of the gun. He clearly wanted to go after people in the healthcare industry. So the law is clear. There is no duty to come forward and say that my son did this, right? I mean, or he may be a suspect in this. If you have actual knowledge that a felony has been committed, federal law would, and state law, most state laws would have you compel you to come forward. But generally, if the police say, look, we're looking for this person, he may have committed this crime, there's no legal duty, only a moral obligation on friends and family. And that's sort of the gap that we fell into. I'm particularly focused on the family because they knew he withdrew, they knew he was in pain, they knew he was on meds, they knew he was in distress, and then they see these pictures, and any parent will tell you, you know who your kid is, right? I mean, the eyebrows or the lips or the chin, you can tell who your kid is, even if you haven't seen him in 6 months.
And not only did people who knew him not turn him in, I mean, look at social media. There is a disturbing amount of support or empathy for the suspect. And some of it's driven by anger that is understandable about the health insurance industry, and yet transferring it and turning it into admiration for somebody that is a suspected cold-blooded killer is astounding. Do you think prosecutors should be concerned about this sentiment possibly working in favor of Mangione should he actually go to trial?
I think it probably won't sway a jury because it likely won't come much into play. In other words,
they're like, hey, we should actually arrest his friends and family members as well, because we suspect that they knew that it was Luigi Mangione and didn't want to immediately cooperate with law enforcement. As a matter of fact, I'll take it one step further. We should arrest every single person that doesn't immediately sign a loyalty pledge to American CEOs that will say, please, sir, I want some more death and destruction for my family and medical bankruptcy. Please, I really like it. Fuck it, dude. Throw Israel in the pile, too. Be like, hey, if you don't say that about Israel and American healthcare, for-profit healthcare, you will get killed, okay?
The jury will probably not hear this stuff. What I worry about is both the copycats, in other words, the sort of glorification or the cult status that he may be reaching amongst those who may not like healthcare or the way healthcare is run in this country. And so you worry about people doing the same thing, going after CEOs, regardless of what your politics is. The other is a larger statement about our country. You and I have talked a lot about the normalization of violence. We don't like it in the political space. I don't like it from the right wing. I don't like it from people who might have progressive sentiments that I may even agree with as a public policy issue. The normalization of violence as the way to come to some solution is damaging for a democracy and is damaging for our civic discourse. And so I am shocked by it. I don't like it, and it is dangerous.
Suspected killer of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson, screaming like a lunatic to reporters, gathered and literally had to be dragged into his extradition hearing in Pennsylvania. Take a look.
Okay, we're all wearing orange in solidarity, Queen. I'm glad she got the memo. You know what I mean? Why you don't cover Syria? What happening in Syria? Why you don't cover Syria? Brother, if you think I haven't sufficiently covered Syria, I don't know what to tell you, okay? In the past week, I've spent like a collective total of 13 hours covering Syria.
Oh my God, that's completely out of touch and an insult to the intelligence of the American people and the lived experience.
Luigi Mangione was denied bail and is fighting extradition as the NYPD works to get him back to New York and face charges of second-degree murder for the cold-blooded slaying of Brian Thompson on the streets of Midtown Manhattan. Okay, it's very interesting. Right now, New York is attempting to extradite him, which is a very simple process, Joey, where they basically say, we have criminal charges of murder too, and the DA goes to the governor signs it, and then they take it to the governor in Pennsylvania, and they say, this is the guy, and these are the charges. It's very simple, and they're not agreeing to do it. They want to fight. But he'll be extradited and brought back to New York. Do you think he should be charged by Alvin Bragg, the progressive Manhattan DA, or should this be brought to the feds to prosecute under President Donald Trump?
You know, that's a really good point. I haven't thought about that till you just asked the question. Thank you for putting me on the spot with my not law degree. I would love to see the federal government prosecute this because I think it needs to be a case that sets a precedent. I mean, the fact is, even I see in my life the vulnerability.
Throw the goddamn book at this piece of shit. How have Fox News viewers been reacting to reporting like this? They're not reacting at all because they're literally dying in a palliative care facility. They don't give a fuck. I don't think they know anything. They're not reacting. You want to know why? Because they're fucking 800 years old. It is kind of crazy that they want to like Jeffrey Epstein style murder this guy. They literally are like, no, put him in a federal position and let federal prison and let God sort it out.
Of people that are in the public eye is huge in this country.
Yeah. Also, I don't think you can do that anyway. But that's besides the point.
And our own president was almost shot. It's one of the unique things about this country. It's one of the amazing things about this country. You can go to L.A. and see a celebrity in a coffee shop, or you can go to New York and find the CEO of a company coming out of his hotel.
Wait, what? Oh my God. Oh my God. He already changed her perspective on healthcare CEO. It was her idea to follow, subscribe, and bookmark his Twitch page. Oh my God. The girlies are doing it. Let's go. We take those. We take those. It could take every single white mom in this country, but I'll take it. HASANABI girlies, rise up. Hello to all the moms in the chat. I curse a little bit. I'm sorry. I will try to hold it back. HASANABI girlies are up this year big, up big.
None of us are secure. So I think people like this need to be made an example of. And for that reason, I would love to see it go to the federal level. Two things can be true at one time. This guy can be unhinged, deranged, and completely crazy, and also a cold-blooded killer, and he should be treated as one.
You know, it's interesting, Dana. On the one hand, they said last night he was very quiet, but then once he saw the press, he started screaming about how unjust it was and like he's got some kind of a message.
So I don't know what his mental health status is, and that will have to be something that's a part of this. I also agree it should be charged federally because we've seen what happens here. And I think that it's disgusting how some people say, oh, this is because of the insurance industry. You check yourself on that, especially if you're on the left. And how do you think we ended up in a place where there is less competition and fewer good products in the insurance industry? It is messed up. I agree. But that's not because people weren't suggesting a better way. If you think socialized medicine is a better way, knock yourself out.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, please threaten me more with a good time, Dana Perino. Offer to people that are working at these corporations.
So one thing that our lawsuit alleged.
Dude, we're getting a lot of coverage off of the Lena Khan interview already. I'm glad that there was some. immediate response to it.
Alleged was that if this
I love it. Yeah, it's got motion. Yeah, I retweeted this already. This is the first time FTC has ever sought to block a merger, not just because it's going to be bad for consumers, but also for workers. Yeah, Lena Khan is amazing. You got an Uncle Roger motion too? What? Oh yeah, we're all wearing orange. Your lineup was wild, not gonna lie. Yeah, it was awkwardly funny how you asked about her being replaced in the interview to then be replaced shortly after. Yeah, people need to calm down in the way that I conduct my interviews, by the way. Everybody was like yelling at me saying I talk too much during the interviews. But like, it's supposed to also be somewhat of a conversation, okay? It's not just supposed to be me asking questions. It's not supposed to be just the interview. It's supposed to be a conversation as well as an interview. Okay? But there are definitely moments where like my questions are long and convoluted, but I don't want it to just be like a simple interview. I want it to be, again, a conversation. There are interview components in it. Chat gets wild when you're not watching them. The interviews are fantastic. Really uplifting today. Keep it up. Yeah. For the record. Getting back to Luigi Mangione. One of the funniest things I've seen in the media coverage and the broad reception of this story is that, before we get to the conspiracy theories, and we'll analyze them as well, where is it? This was the funniest thing. Or not this one, sorry. Where is it? This. Extremely ironic. Suspect the United Healthcare CEO slaying played video game killer. Friend recalls. The video game is Among Us, chat. They're honest to God, bro. This is like, don't write this. Don't write this fucking article ever again. Don't ever do that. This is a mockery, dude. It's ridiculous. Among Us tweeted, oh no. Yeah, dude, he got radicalized by playing Among Us, the game that your kids play. I mean, it's so fucking stupid that, yeah, also NBC, AOC's Twitch Get Out the Vote efforts will help Democrats in 2020 and beyond. It's obviously a different journalist who wrote this, but it is such a ridiculous fucking take. We had the 286 conspiracy that we're going to talk about, and we have this is not the real shooter that we're going to talk about. And I want to look more at his Reddit profile as well. But I did want to address how fucking stupid it is that they said that he played Among Us, and I think that's the reason why. Kylie showing solidarity with you and Luigi. I'm wearing orange every day until they free the people's princess. True. Took a lot of time away from the interview by you grandstanding with your take. What grandstanding with my what take? This isn't just a interview, it's a conversation. And it doesn't just live as an interview to get like clippable moments out. It exists as a VOD later down the line. I want it to be fully fleshed out. But thank you for your background. Thank you for your feedback. Sorry. A lot of people are calling this a psyop.
Is born into a wealthy family, attends a 40,000 a year private school, becomes valedictorian, earns a bachelor's and master's in computer science by 26, no criminal record, no psychological red flags, well-dressed, photogenic and handsome, active on social media showing vacations abroad with beautiful women and family, looks beyond well-adjusted and is thriving, landing an internship and building a resume that screams total success, spends his free time exploring transcendence and the self, whilst working the professional world showing no signs of instability, has all the hype of another rising tech star in his field, then all of a sudden disappears from his friends and his families for 3 months, only to return to kill the United Healthcare CEO. None of this is adding up because in reality, we actually have an assembly line system to procure new so-called radical right-wing extremists simply by choosing whose brain to fry via psychedelic alchemical dumping at the drop of a hat. And has the same feel of Ted Kaczynski, who was MK Ultra brain fried as a psychological operated fed to distract us from what is truly happening on center stage today. From the fact that Syria is being converted to Israel while simultaneously painting an unglamorous depiction of the so-called woke right. But this is the strategy to kill two birds with one stone. Destroy the life of an introspective and upright man to demonize masculinity, whilst distracting us from geopolitical affairs that will determine the global enslavement of all of our progeny. This is a satanic pedophilic elite playing the...
Nah, man. Nah, we gotta fix this shit. No, we gotta fix healthcare like tomorrow. Okay? We gotta, I'm not gonna say we gotta ban TikTok, but like, we gotta start fixing society immediately. Dude, everything is fucking Everything is falling apart, dude. Everything is falling apart. This man said, oof, everything is so unimaginably cooked. Every aspect of society is like, this was a long ass way of saying, once again, it's the Jews. Holy fuck, dude. Yeah, conspiracy Mad Libs is what he did. This guy is literally reading a green text post that's being reposted all over Reddit. You can't get your cancer cured because the satanic pedophile elite are using it for a ritual as opposed to the profit motive, doing profit motive things. Yeah, I mean, look, it's the same. Look. I talk about this quite a bit with a lot of other aspects of like American society that are just fundamentally broken with seemingly no solution. And there's a reason why people went from like, oh, these mass shootings happen because not gun control. Don't ever say it's gun control, but these mass shootings are happening with regular frequency because not because of the readily available weapons you can purchase. But it's actually because of door control. It's actually because the teachers aren't armed. And ultimately, it's actually because it's fake. It's a psyop by the government. You devolve into conspiratorial thinking when you don't want to address the logical conclusion. Okay? You go further and further into insane conspiracy theories. And this is something that I've talked about a lot. Like the anti-Semitism is what's the take? Like it's like anti-Semitism is the fucking socialism of the fools or something, where it's just like, if you don't want to recognize that capitalism very clearly has created a structure. Capitalism has very clearly created a structure where profit incentive trumps all, and the profit motive is more important than the well-being of people, and that corporations are obviously creating tremendous amounts of instability and harm so that a couple people at the tippy top can fucking make incredible returns year over year. And when that is entirely shut off, that idea, that concept, that simple basic description, that simple basic analysis is so effectively tampered due to the interests of capitalists that don't want you to recognize that the system is at fault here. Because they've pushed that away and have permitted right-wing instability as a good mechanism of deflection, inevitably, people are infinitely more comfortable focusing on this good-bad dynamic, this idealistic notion that there are good people and there are bad people, and then they inevitably go back to the same fucking targets over and over again. That like, there's got to be an outside group. Who's the outside group? It's the Jews. Is always the Jews. Okay? That's it. We are on the verge of collapse, in my opinion. There's a real crisis of information. There's a real crisis of logic. There's so many people that just like look at this and think like, oh, well, it can't be capitalism. That's completely impossible to contend with. I've never even considered that. I would never consider that. That's scary and dangerous thinking. So it actually must be Jewish people that are a part of a satanic pedophilic cabal. Must be that. People are infinitely more susceptible to right-wing conspiratorial thinking than they are to a materialist perception of the world, to analyze the world through a materialist lens. And a lot of these liberals are absolutely feeding into this by also playing the role of playing the role of tampering and stopping any sort of left-wing communications from coming out every step of the way. Taking bets on whether the Hasan anti-Semitic crowd will give you credit for this demonstration of a deep understanding of what anti-Semitism actually is. They will not. No, of course not. I've probably spent thousands of fucking hours at this point talking specifically about anti-Semitism. I know about anti-Semitism better than most people for this very reason, because it is, one, incorrect, okay? At its most basic truth is just simply not correct. But also, it is at the heart of many fascist movements. And as someone who has dedicated a good bit of time to combating bigotry and fascism specifically, I've spent a shitload of time talking about anti-Semitism, how it manifests, how it festers, how dangerous it is left unchecked. And not only that, but also I've talked about for years now at this point, far before October 7, and I will continue talking about it. But I've also talked about how dangerous it is to conflate anti-Zionism with anti-Semitism. And especially at a time when like right-wing anti-Semites who are anti-Israel as well get a lot more prominence and a lot more media coverage, and they become the primary drivers of this conversation, you don't actually end up harming the anti-Israel movement. You actually end up propping anti-Semitism. It is so short-sighted. It is so unimaginably short-sighted. Many people probably think, oh, this is a comfortable narrative because if the largest disseminators of anti-Israel sentiment are like overt anti-Semites, then many people will assume that this is where the groundswell of anti-Israel commentary is coming from. What they fail to recognize, much like in this case with the CEO shooting, is that people are fucking anti-Israel because of what Israel is doing. You cannot contextualize and moralize rampant baby murder as long as it's being broadcasted on television, as long as it's being broadcasted on social media. You can't fucking do propaganda for that level of unrestricted death and destruction. So all you do in that process is tie anti-Semitism to validity. All you are doing is negatively polarizing people, not against Israel, because that is already organically happening, but now you're negatively polarizing people against Jews. Okay? It's fucking ridiculous. Anyway, let's hear what the lawyer's saying on Caitlin Collins.
The right person, given that he had a gun on him, he had a fake New Jersey ID that he used to check into a hostel. I mean, is none of that enough for you personally to know that they do have the right guy?
Well, first of all, that's a piece of paper. I know you probably can't tell, but I'm 5'6". I could write on that I'm 6'5", and all this other kind of stuff. So that's written on paper. What's nice about the law is we'll have a hearing. I can cross-examine witnesses and find out, look at reports and find out what they have and what they don't have. So, again, that's just written on a criminal complaint.
Who's
without
not
getting
5'6"?
into the details of that.
Who's 5'4"?
I don't see any evidence of a forgery. They're going to have to at least prove a prima facie case, which is less than the beyond a reasonable doubt. But I need to see these things. Right now I have one piece of paper. And again, so... Yes,
Mr. Dickey, have you asked to see this?
I have a copy. If that's the Pennsylvania complaint, I have a copy of that.
But have you asked to see the evidence?
Near the end. Well, that's what we're good. We have a hearing coming up on, I believe, the 23rd. I apologize if I'm in error about that because there's a bunch of dates that's been flying around today. But yes, and like I said, tomorrow I'm going to reach out to the district attorney. It's my intentions and to see if, how much we can see of this stuff. So today was not about that. So we have not had the opportunity to do that today.
And I know you were also unhappy that he was denied bail. Of course, prosecutors were arguing that he is a risk. You know, they either have to talk about, being a flight risk or a risk to the community. Obviously, he was captured about 250 miles from Manhattan. But you said you were retained today. One big question that everyone has is, are you being paid by his family to represent him?
Yeah, I'm not going to comment on that.
Well, can you say that it's not his family who is asking you to retain him, or to retaining you to represent him?
I'm not going to comment on. I'm not going to comment on that. I've been retained. I'm not court appointed. I've been retained, and that's all I can tell you.
We had seen reports earlier that there was, people were inundating you with all.
I'll admit it. I retained him.
Legal bills. Is that accurate?
I have received some emails. I have not seen them personally, but my understanding from my staff is people are doing that.
That people are reaching out to you and offering to help pay for his legal bills.
Oh my God!
That's correct.
Would you accept those offers? I mean, I imagine you maybe have. I don't know. Have you ever gotten that before?
Nah. To be honest with you, I probably wouldn't.
Why do you think you would not accept that?
I don't know. I just don't. I don't know. I just don't feel comfortable about that. So I don't know. I haven't given that much thought, but I'm not looking. Obviously my client appreciates the support that he has, but I don't know. I just I'd have to look in, but it just doesn't sit right with me, really.
Why do you think they're offering?
I don't know. People, you talk about, the Supreme Court says, all these rich billionaires can give all kind of money to candidates, and that's free speech. So maybe these people are exercising their right to free speech and saying that's the way they're supporting my client.
My God!
You noted there that you said he supports he appreciates the support that he's getting. Did he acknowledge that when you had a conversation with him earlier about how we have seen this intense public interest in him himself?
This guy fucks!
Yeah, unfortunately, Caitlin, I can't get into anything that my client and I talk about. So by law, I'm not permitted to reveal anything that's attorney-client privilege in any conversation that occurs between he and I is simply that.
I understand that, but could you describe just what his demeanor is? You know, you're talking about putting yourself in his shoes, but, you know, did he seem nervous? Did he seem calm? Or how did he come off to you when you met him?
Well, you know, yeah, and if we have a minute, I do want to go back to that bail situation if we have a quick second. But anyway, I've been telling people all day to use their common sense. Here's a young man who's, you know, apparently going to be or has been charged with a very serious, one of the most serious offenses a person could be charged with. He's in prison without bail, as you previously mentioned. And so, you know, I think common sense would say, you know, he's concerned.
Do you plan on representing him only in Pennsylvania or also in New York?
Well, that will depend. I got to see how this process pans out. And if, in fact, I were asked to do that, I certainly would consider that and probably do that.
Thomas Dickey, I know you've had a very busy day. Thank you for your time tonight and for joining us, and I hope you'll come back and join us in the future.
I will, Caitlin. Thank you very much. I appreciate you having me. Thank you.
And I want to bring in my next legal source tonight. Former federal prosecutor Elliot Williams is here. Elliot, what did you make of what we heard from him?
He's a defense attorney, and a lot of things that might seem like common sense to you or me or anybody else watching who's seen this evidence play out on television, you know, the defense attorney's obligation is not to, in effect, roll over and accept allegations from prosecutors or police and hold prosecutors to their burden of proving the evidence. You know, a good way to think about it, Caitlin, is that the only fact that is undisputed right now about the case is that a man was killed on a New York City street with a firearm. It's up to prosecutors and police to establish, number one, who the defendant is, and that he's the same person that was apprehended in Pennsylvania. And that's really what defense attorneys do.
But is it just a delay tactic, essentially?
I don't think so. He really does have a right to do these things. And more importantly, from the perspective of a defense attorney, if he's not taking some of these steps now, what he does not want to produce is an ineffective assistance of counsel claim later on that he was not serving his client well. So he needs to put some of these things on the record and make prosecutors take those kinds of steps.
What did you make of the news that he made there?
I want to get the attorney on. I want to get Luigi Mangione's attorney on the stream.
Offering to pay for Luigi Mangione's legal bills.
Yeah, look, it's a sense of beyond the legal question, the sort of maelstrom of public outcry around the case that there were many people who were sort of supportive of the action. Now, look,
guys, do not shit on Caitlin Collins' journalism here, okay? She follows me on Twitter now. She's my moot. And she also happens to be one of the youngest people on the docket.
People's legal fees?
They often do in very high-profile cases. The book I'm writing right now on the Bernard Goetz case in 1984, lots of people from around the country, you know, send in money. It happens all the time. Daniel Penny, that was just prosecuted or acquitted in New York, got a lot of offers from around the country to pay for his legal bills as well.
Yeah. Elliot Williams, thanks for joining us tonight to break that down. Up next here on The Source, we still have two big guests who are going to sit down live with me here. That includes the top Democrat.
What judge can oversee this case, given that basically everyone's been impacted by healthcare in the U.S.? I mean, there's plenty of fucking people who don't give a shit. Come on. She's also a Fox and someone graduated from Alabama. I think she was also on Daily Wire, which I think is like, you are 33 and oomph is not a word in your vocab. Excuse me. Yes, it is. Not only is she my moot, but also, she was on Daily Caller. Oh my God, it's even worse than Daily Wire. Before CNN, she was on Daily Caller. Anyway, people can change. Just like Luigi Mangione. Okay? Luigi Mangione also has changed. He apologized for what he may or may not have done. So everybody calm down. Yeah, I didn't want to drag her. I follow her too. I don't just follow her. She follows me back. I followed her after she followed me. Okay? Not to flex on you guys. Not to flex on you mere mortals, but my positions are for sale. Do you understand me? I have no backbone. I didn't ask, quite frankly, little bro. Little bro is big bro now. Yeah, we're no longer oomphs. We're moots. I'm an MLM Marxist-Leninist Mengionist. Anyway, there's a lot of stuff on Syria on here, but I don't know if I want to cover all that because we've been doing a lot of fun stuff today. I saw my 66-year-old mom watch the Pod Save episode and loved it. Hell yeah. Do you feel like a child in the middle of a divorce between TYT and Majority Report? No, I genuinely can't get myself to care about any of that. I don't know what the fuck Anna is doing. I think that ultimately this is like going to further and further radicalize Jank, though. Like I feel as though the only thing that this does is just like piss Jank off, who thinks like, you know, his co-host is being falsely smeared or whatever. But I don't like it. I don't like when uncles are fighting. When is the right time for big drama? Wait, what?
I've heard the rumors online, and the rumors are mostly true. Today, December 10th, will be my last day hosting the comment section and working for the Daily Wire. It is not true that I am being forced out. It was my own choice to leave. And believe me, this is bittersweet. I have had the most unbelievable 3 years helping to craft the show, building this community, and telling stories and sharing the truth every day. Through the comment section, you all have made me braver, more articulate, more thoughtful, more hopeful than I could have ever imagined. And I'm grateful that we spent this time together. And I'm grateful that the Daily Wire gave us a platform to grow this community. But at this point in my life, I am ready to take on a new direction.
Where's Weeby? Weeby, are you okay? Weeby, are you all right? I know you haven't been around in a while because you were probably spending all of that spare time moderating the Brett Cooper subreddit. Wait, this means Weeby has no one to watch anymore? He has to come back? Yeah.
Both personally and professionally. This means new challenges and new endeavors, which I will share with you soon. As for this show, the comment section will continue with the Daily Wire. My producer, Reagan, is taking over as host of the comment section, and I wish her and the Daily Wire all the best.
Where's she going?
We have had 3 great years, and I am proud of what we've accomplished together.
You did this with your dick print on Insta? No. Brett Cooper is a married woman. Okay, how dare you?
Leaving the show and the platforms that we've built is hard, but I'm very excited for what's to come. Knowing that we have brought so many people together in laughter over these last 3 years means the world to me. I appreciate all of you, so let's chat again soon. But in the meantime, go touch some grass, kick some rocks, and we'll catch up shortly. And now for some final thoughts from the God King himself, Jeremy Bourne.
Bittersweet indeed. We're sad to see Brett go.
Boo, we don't want to see this fucking